Good evening. We are calling this meeting to order. Item 1.1, trustees, our 2020 VCCCD ground rules and board vision to be able to reference to throughout our meeting. 1.2, Chancellor's recommendation of the agenda.
Recommended as presented.
Okay. 1.3, changes to the agenda or consent items to be pulled. Okay. Oh, Trustee Pachowski, we can get your mic. Thank you.
Item will be pulled, but I need to get the agenda up here first.
Okay, absolutely. We can wait until your agenda's pulled up. Trustee Chancellor? We can mention it now. Chancellor?
Is it on the,
It should be on the,
Richard, would you know what that is?
so item 8.2, I have it here on the agenda. It says it's item 8.2, ratification of board purchase order report, PO 0144637 regarding School Health Corporation. Okay. We have 1.4, public comments for closed session agenda items. And we are starting with Maria Urenda, followed by Casey, I believe it's Casey Barr.
Good evening, Board of Trustees and Chancellor McLennan. Maria Urenda, SEIU Chief Steward, speaking on behalf of the classified unit regarding closed session item 2.2, conference with labor negotiator, SEIU. We met with management team on November 24th, and we continue to make steady progress on several contract articles. During that meeting, we communicated the need to begin significant discussions at the table regarding the compensation articles, meaning salary and benefits we have pending. Management acknowledged this request and agreed that those discussions will move forward when we meet tomorrow. We will be asking the board to provide sufficient authority to its negotiating team so that we may engage in meaningful conversations tomorrow at the bargaining table regarding compensation for the classified unit. We look forward to bargaining in this very room tomorrow and working toward a full resolution of a contract in the near future. Wages and benefits will, as you know, be a critical part of reaching that tentative agreement. The SEIU classified professionals of this district are the backbone of our colleges and the district office. And most importantly, they provide essential support and services to the students we serve. We ask that this be recognized by granting appropriate authorization to your management team so that we can continue making progress and reach a tentative agreement on the full collective bargaining agreement early in 2026. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Casey, followed by Scott Brewer.
Good evening. My name is Casey Barr. I'm a part-time faculty at Oxnard College who has a PhD and understands how math works. Your negotiating team is misleading you regarding the compressed calendar schedule. It's true that not every faculty member will be working excess hours in a compressed calendar, but there are certain divisions and departments in which faculty absolutely will be. The STEM classes are one of those groups among many that will be directly impacted. Non-contract part-time faculty like myself will incur excess contact hours, meaning I will physically be teaching more hours in the classroom per semester, but getting the same pay. Understand, you are asking people who have advanced degrees in science, who teach subjects like mathematics, physics, chemistry, and engineering to pretend that we do not know how math works. AFT has done its part. They've shown up, proposed multiple solutions to compensate non-contract employees who would work excessive student contact hours. And this is about paying folks for the amount they teach. If you were asked to do more of your job for the same pay, how would you feel? Board members, please demand that your team stop misleading you, stop dragging their feet, and settle a fair contract for the compressed calendar conversion. We understand how math works, and the question is, do you? Thank you.
Thank you, Casey. Scott Brewer. Followed by Aaron Marquez Lally.
Good evening. My name is Scott Brewer. I am a counseling faculty member at Ventura College since 2013. After my colleagues and I made public comments to this board 60 days ago regarding a toxic culture of bullying and harassment, I was sent the district's unlawful harassment and discrimination complaint form by the Vice Chancellor of Human Resources. I want to be clear that this response, while procedurally familiar, is substantially insufficient given the issues we have been raising. The concerns brought forward by my colleagues and me are not about a single incident, a single individual, or a discrete act of misconduct that can be neatly addressed through an individual complaint process. They are systemic in nature. They reflect long-standing, district-wide patterns related to leadership instability, misuse of power, intimidation, retaliation, and a climate of fear that spans Ventura College and implicates district-level systems, including human resources, the unions, and ultimately this board. Directing employees to an individual complaint form reframes a collective structural problem as a personal grievance. That framing misses the point. It places the burden of risk back on individuals while leaving the underlying systems untouched. It also assumes that the existing processes are trusted, neutral, and safe, when a central concern being raised is that those very processes have contributed to or failed to correct the culture we are describing. If the only available response to system-wide dysfunction is an intake form designed for isolated incidents, then meaningful accountability and reform become impossible. What is needed instead is a good faith, independent, and district-level examination of organizational culture, power dynamics, retaliation, and the role of governance structures in allowing these conditions to persist. I and my colleagues are asking for the appropriate level of response to the scope of this problem. Treating this as a single complaint is inadequate and, frankly, reinforces the very dynamics we are urging this board to address. I raise this not for myself alone, but because many employees do not feel safe speaking publicly or privately through existing channels. That reality should concern all of us who care about the long-term health, stability, and integrity of this district. Thank you for your attention, and thank you for your responsibility to look beyond the procedural and
Thank you.
toward genuine institutional accountability.
Scott.
Thank you.
Aaron, followed by Marsha Fulkerson.
Good evening. My name is Erin Marquez Lally, and I teach health and kinesiology at Oxnard College and have since 2017. Every delay in our contract harms both students and faculty. We ask the board to direct the district's team to stop stalling and reach a compressed calendar contract that supports quality teaching and learning. The district's proposal demands extra teaching hours and a compressed calendar without paying faculty for their labor. That is not efficiency, it's wage theft. If you as a district refuse to pay for the hours a compressed calendar demands, it undermines the quality and stability of our classrooms. Respecting faculty time is respecting students and the quality of their education. Where is your team's concern for how their proposal will negatively impact students? I have major concerns on how this will affect the quality of their education. How can you instruct your team to negotiate a contract with these concerns in mind? Thank you.
Thank you, Erin. Marcia, followed by Sania Saidi Merchant.
Board members, your team continues to bargain the compressed calendar in bad faith. Converting to a compressed calendar changes faculty hours and schedules, issues that are mandatory subjects of bargaining under the Educational Employees Relations Act. Please direct your team to honor the law and negotiate accordingly. Without the details on how faculty will be scheduled in a compressed calendar clearly outlined in the CBA, the faculty are stripped of their bargaining power. What are you doing as a board to ensure faculty understand how they'll be scheduled? What assurances will you give to ensure the district's proposal provides faculty with the details to understand their schedule and work hours and how they will be paid? Thank you.
Thank you, Marcia. Sania, followed by Tanya DeClerc.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sonia Zaidi Merchant, and it's been 3 years at Ventura Community College in biology department, but I have worked for LACCD for 8 years and College of the Canyon for 11 years, and we all have 16-week schedule. So my comment here today is one unpaid hour today becomes many tomorrows. When the district refuses to pay for excessive teaching, they chip away at all faculty. I have major concerns on how this will affect our students and the quality of their education. This is why faculty must stand together, honor faculty's top 3 priorities, and settle with a fair contract. I also want to mention that as an adjunct for 9 years, we have struggled, but even as full-time faculty, we are not paid our due, especially at Ventura College. In bio department, we have lecture and lab, there's a disparity in the pay. And so we end up teaching more hours without getting paid. And if this compressed calendar is not put to rest and we're paid for our hours, that would be another additional work we would be doing without pay. I'm also faculty who drives about 100 miles a day to come here. I paid almost $6,000 last year just in gas money and car, and that's almost a paycheck. It's unfair to ask us to work hours without paying us. So I really wish the board would address this and put compressed calendar to rest so we could get paid our due, what we really work for. If it's for the students, our faculty should be respected because we are the members of this community which supports student learning. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Sania. Tanya DeClerc, followed by Sebastian DeClerc.
Good evening, trustees, chancellor, and colleagues. My name is Tanya DeClerc. I teach Spanish at Ventura College. I'm here to follow up on the concerns many of us raised at the last 3 meetings about workplace culture and safety at Ventura College. Following that meeting, speakers received an email from District Human Resources directing them to file individual complaints. This response misses the point and demonstrates that either the district does not understand our concerns or is deliberately dodging the question. Some of us have complaints we could file against colleagues, and some of us don't. It's not why we are here. We do not wish to address individual grievances through a one-by-one confidential procedure. We are here because there is a systemic breakdown of trust and safety at Ventura College. The current work atmosphere on campus, plagued by bullying and a sense of imperviousness, prevents us from doing our best possible work. Suggesting that we file individual complaints avoids the issue and further aggravates the fear that VC employees feel. The complaint procedures you are directing us to are precisely the types of systems VC employees distrust. We have watched these processes fail in the past. This VCCCD administration and this board must take concrete steps to rebuild trust before asking us to, once again, rely on internal systems. We are particularly concerned that the personal relationships between district HR leadership and some members of the VC faculty make it unlikely that employee concerns will be addressed in an effective and unbiased manner. This is not about questioning anyone's professionalism. It is about acknowledging that impartiality requires independence. We have repeatedly called for an external, independent evaluation of the work environment at VC. We have requested this because the way our former president, Dr. Lurito Habib's departure was handled under this board and this administration raises concerns about whether an internal review can be truly objective. I will pause here and allow the next speaker to wrap up our comments in his 3-minute allotment. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanya.
Thank you. Following last month's meeting, those of us who spoke publicly received a second email, and this one from a reporter from the VC Star. As a group, we made a collective decision not to respond to the press at this time because we believe the right place to address these concerns is here with you, with this board and this administration. But working together requires mutual engagement. We've taken many steps to initiate this process, and in response, we've been directed to file individual complaints, a suggestion which is neither effective nor constructive. We will not file individual complaints to be addressed one by one in isolation under the cloak of confidentiality. That approach allows systemic problems to remain hidden and unaddressed. Instead, we need you to lead by taking substantive action to address the institutional failures in work culture that affect the entire VC workforce. We will work collectively with you on this. I again urge this district and this board to charter an independent, external evaluation of the work culture at Ventura College. This is the path that will begin to rebuild trust and repair the damage that has been done to its motivation, morale, and collegiality on our campus. We ask for accountability, transparency, and leadership that demonstrates a genuine commitment to creating a safe and equitable workplace for everyone and to the betterment of the service of our students. Thank you.
Thank you, Sebastian. Hugo Hernandez.
Good evening, Chair, Board of Trustees, Chancellor. I'm here to speak on behalf of faculty regarding the compressed calendar. I'm not going to be using the notes prepared because I just think that it's an important aspect to get to a contract. We already work more than our contract hours. I know that for a fact whenever I submit my college service hours or my flex hours that I go above and beyond what the contract at a bare minimum requires. I do also know that when it comes to the reimbursement for changing over to the compressed calendar, that while the load hours on our CORs, our course outlines of record, still state the same amount of time that we are contractually obligated to work, the district will be compensated for extra hours because we're switching from a 52.5-hour load to a 54-hour load. So there's more money that's going to be coming to the district as a result of the transfer or the conversion to a compressed calendar. Hours that aren't going to be compensated to the faculty, but that will be available to the district to spend as they wish, and as you all do and instruct them to do. So it sounds like it's an issue of trust. AFT is a little bit distrustful of negotiations. We just want to have the language put out into the contract so we know how much we're exploiting ourselves. Because that is essentially what we do semester after semester, year after year. And it would just be a generous mercy and grace to, say, hey, we're going to give you a little bit more because we do know that more is coming into the district, that we will have new opportunities for offering and scheduling classes in a winter intersession. I have 2 kids. They're going to be in school. I'm not going to be going anywhere. I may as well exploit myself another semester. Put those extra hours of contact with the students during office hours, those extra hours and minutes that I engage with students and with other faculty and with other staff that is, compensated at a contract rate, but that we, and many of us, they're laughing because they know it's true. We're on campus day in and day out, part-time faculty, just as much, if not more, in terms of travel. So I would just ask that, you direct the negotiating team to spell out just a little bit more detail of what it will mean when we move to the compressed calendar. What are the hours that are going to be paid? So that way we know exactly how much we're going to be giving above and beyond, again, for the students. And that will be hoping and fighting for more respect, more pay in future negotiations. Thank you.
Thank you, Hugo. Thank you. We appreciate the public comments. Trustee Pachowski, do you happen to have the items you wanted to be pulled? Okay. And for the trustees, you can find the PO also on your agenda, so it's reflected there if you need to reference it at any time. Any other trustee, any items that they'd like to be pulled at this moment? Okay, so with that, we are going now to closed session. We anticipate to be back around 6:30 p.m., so we will be back. This evening, we're happy to see a full room of so many people involved within our community, within our Ventura County Community College District. We are reconvening, and I'm going to ask Trustee Chancellor if you could please lead us the pledge to the flag. (3.2), there is no closed session report. And with this, we do move on to 3.3, which is public comments. And we are going to begin with Andrea Reynolds, followed by Spencer Ritchie.
Trustees and Chancellor. My name is Andrea Reynolds, and I've been an adjunct philosophy instructor at Ventura College since 2009. And I have taught full semester courses of 16 weeks, of 12 weeks, 8 weeks, 4-week classes. So I'm here to talk about instructor load and compressed calendar. I heard a rumor that you haven't heard from a lot of adjuncts and that maybe you think that we are not interested or don't care about the issue. So that's why I'm here today. And I'm not really sure what the concern is, except that we're still hammering out details about how the compressed calendar is going to work. Of course, as a faculty member, I'm concerned about how I'm going to be compensated in hours and so on. But no matter how long my course is, 16 weeks, 12 weeks, 8 weeks, 4 weeks, I have to get in all of the required material and SLOs for that course. So it kind of doesn't matter how long the course is. I generally get paid the same amount for the course. But I also heard that there is a belief that if you shorten or compress the calendar, that we'll have to work fewer hours. And I'm not sure if that's true, if that's what some people believe, but I think you know that if you shorten the calendar, you've got to increase the number of hours that you're in the classroom or online teaching. And my students also know that when they take an accelerated course, they're going to have to put in a lot more hours for a shortened period of time. So whatever the details are, however it is that you hash it out, I just want to make sure that, I mean, I know that all of my colleagues who are teaching also put in more hours than we're actually getting paid for. And we just want it to be equitable, whatever the number is. I'm still really not sure what the questions are or what the holdup is, but we're just hoping that whatever the details are that you hammer out, that they will be equitable and fair. And that's really all I wanted to say. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Andrea. Spencer, followed by Tiffany Beam.
Hi, good evening. This is my very first VCCCD board meeting that I've ever attended. Because normally I graduated from Moore Park in 2018, and you know how life goes. You get caught up with other stuff. And so I am many things. I am, again, Moorpark College alum. I am openly LGBTQIA plus. I am involved with, anti-ICE activism locally. And so, but above all that, I am a lifelong Ventura County tax-paying resident. I live right here in Camarillo. And so I will focus on that because, that's the most universal thing here, tax-paying Ventura County residents. So this is most of why this is the first one I've gone to is because it's in scheduling conflict with the Camarillo City Council meeting. And this meeting is in conflict with an Oxnard City Council meeting. So that's why a lot of people aren't here is because they're at the Oxnard City Council meeting to thank them for actually doing something about the ICE menace. But, and then my third concern is, why do you think, Mr. Lichtel, Mr. Pichowski, Mr. Chancer, why do you think people pay taxes to have a community college district here in Ventura County? They do so because, people from Ventura County, from here, do not have to cross county lines in order to get like associate's degrees, certificates, other stuff that makes them more competitive in the workplace. That's been commonly understood why you pay taxes to help, people get a leg up in the workplace through our college system. If your stupid culture war meddling costs the VCCCD its accreditation, why are we going to what would be the point of us paying taxes for a community college system that, isn't even going to grant degrees that are worth the paper they're printed on? Why do you want to risk that? And why do you want to risk, Ventura County getting a ginormous brain drain even more so because people will have to go like LA County and Santa Barbara County for their degrees? Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Spencer. Tiffany, followed by Amanda Robman.
Hello, my name is Tiffany Beam. I'm the Vice President of the Associated Students of Moorpark College, but today I stand here as an individual, not on any organization. At Moorpark College, I study political science. And like most people interested in politics, I'm very passionate about politics. But despite any personal partisan lean, I make sure not to let that bleed into my decisions on the Moorpark College's board. It is this value of serving our community, not our politics, that brings me to the Board of Trustees today. Behind you all is a very clear mission statement of the Board of Trustees: service in the public's interest. Unfortunately, I have not seen this commitment by all of the Board of Trustees. With this election of a chair coming today, I want to share an experience that I had with Chair Torres. Last year, I and a band of students spent 6 hours parked back there, advocating for what we felt was important for our students. No other trustee talked to us that day besides Chair Torres. She engaged with us, she listened to us, and she was looking to see what our public interest was. In an increasingly polarized political environment, I am concerned that this board is more interested in prioritizing their personal politics than to their community. I, alongside many students, spend hours every single day studying from our degrees. And that's the interest that you all serve today for your public. The highest priority of our public is accreditation, regardless of religion, sex, citizenship status, gender, any of that. So I want today, during this election, for us to think, who here on this board will prioritize the public's interests, not political party and not partisanship? Thank you.
Thank you, Tiffany. Amanda Rodman, followed by Estelle Tyson.
Hi, I'm Amanda Robman. I'm a resident of Thousand Oaks and a graduate of Ventura College many years ago. I just wanted to say to encourage you to support the reelection or reappointment of Chair Torres as chair of this board. I've been watching your meetings on Zoom, and I know that she provides the kind of leadership that I think this board needs. She listens to students, she listens to the faculty, she has an empathetic ear, and she's a thoughtful leader, and I hope that she can continue on her post as the chair. She brings the kind of leadership that this board and district really need, and I hope you will have the foresight and wisdom to allow her to continue in this position. Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda. Estelle, followed by Austin Smith.
Good evening, trustees and chancellor. My name is Estelle Tiongson. I am a student at Moore Park College, and I also serve on the Associate Students of Moore Park College. With that being said, what I say today is only on behalf of myself. I am here to voice my concern about the direction we are heading as a district with the current and future leadership of the Board of Trustees. As a district, we are setting ourselves up for the most frightening collapse by allowing thoughtless and politically divisive actions to wreak havoc across our campuses. We have allowed for intimidation to seep into our school environments for far too long, and it must come to an end. Our staff, faculty, and students are being done a disservice by the sickening culture that has fostered. How can we expect change and progress if some of our trustees fail to remember that we must be unified to support our students? It's quite frankly disheartening that even despite numerous staff, faculty, and students who come to these meetings to voice their concerns, our voices aren't reaching any ears. We need the Board of Trustees to hold themselves accountable and remember that their mission is not to antagonize, but to remain a fair, neutral party who places the well-being of this district above their own personal desires. Thank you.
Thank you, Estelle. Austin, followed by Cynthia Minette.
Good evening, Chancellor and Board. My name is Austin Smith, and I am a proud student of Moore Park College. I serve as a director of the Associate Students of Moore Park College and have had the privilege of working on campus as well. Today, I'm here solely to speak on my behalf as a student. On campus, I've had the pleasure of meeting many bright-minded, exceptional individuals of all walks of life, all coming to our institutions in pursuit of the betterment of themselves and our community as a whole. I've come before you all today because of the frustration and worry I felt due to the improper actions and behavior of this board that jeopardize the education of all students that you serve. At October's meeting, 2 resolutions have been passed despite consultation from all colleges, academic, student, and classified senates advising against it. These actions demonstrate a lack of concern for the community as you continue time and time again to disregard the voices of students and faculties of the colleges you serve. The Board of Trustees' district-wide values state that you will, quote, value and foster an environment where all individuals are respected and have equitable opportunities. Moving forward, as you elect and appoint new positions, I urge you to prove this statement true by demonstrating your respect through listening to the representative members in this room, as well as the voices of students from the past and today. AP 2715, the Trustee Code of Ethics, specifies that you must protect the interests of students in decision-making. I urge you to please recall the diverse backgrounds in which our student population is compiled of, and remember that underrepresented communities which our districts serve as well are much needed to be prioritized. Please make decisions which will foster diversity and celebrate our community's differences, not weaponize them. Remember, the role of a leader is to listen. Please show me, the individuals in this room and our entire community, that you are not only listening, but that you care. Thank you.
Thank you, Austin. Cynthia, followed by Allison Foote.
Hello, my name is Cynthia Manette, and I am a full-time faculty member at Moorpark College. I have taught at Moorpark for 24 years, and I am proud of our district's mission, values, and academic standards. However, these values and standards are currently under threat because of the actions of individual members of this Board of Trustees. I stand here in support of the letter co-signed by the Academic Senate presidents of our 3 colleges. I am particularly concerned about the divisive actions of one of the board members who acted independently to have district staff scan employees' emails for political keywords of his choosing, and then called for the dismissal of one of our staff. That is not his purview and is a violation of Board Policy 2200. I urge the board to censor this person's actions. Further, I understand that there are attempts to undermine our academic freedom and our rigorous curriculum approval process. It is not up to individual trustees to decide what courses and content be taught at our colleges. Again, this overreach threatens our accreditation. The last point that I want to make is this. Our college's mission is to prioritize diversity, equity, and inclusion for all students, faculty, and staff. Part of that equity is supporting LGBTQ people. When I sat on the Academic Senate, we voted to establish all gender bathrooms on campus. The right to feel safe on campus should be a priority of the board, and I urge the board to ensure that individual board members do not act independently to advance a personal political agenda that conflicts with our district-wide mission statements. Thank you.
Thank you, Cynthia. Allison, followed by Brett Williamson.
Good evening. I'm Allison Foote, Treasurer for the Independent Council on Women's Sports, and we urge the Ventura County Community College District Board of Trustees to place the resolution in support of Title IX on your next agenda. Tonight, I'd like to address a number of public comments made at the past committee meeting on December 2nd. First, supporting Title IX is not political, but a matter of ensuring equal opportunity and basic fairness for your female athletes. When the district or athletic association's policies discriminate against half the student body, that does indeed seem to be a problem worth solving. And the presence of only half a person is irrelevant. The district cannot possibly achieve its mission of fostering an environment where all individuals are respected and have equitable opportunities when women are openly discriminated against on the basis of their sex. One speaker claimed that men maintaining a significant performance advantage over women is not always true, and using the height of the volleyball net does not support that. Actually, the lower women's volleyball net, the lower hurdle in women's track, and the smaller women's basketball are exactly because of the differences in athletic ability between men and women. And the softball baseball analogy, yes, women do use a larger, heavier ball because it allows them to throw with higher velocity given the underhanded pitching requirement, and the mound in softball is 17 feet closer to the plate. Those sports are not the same. To the claim invoking the Phelps gambit, the idea that Michael Phelps' extraordinary proportions gave him an unfair advantage in men's swimming, so we should therefore accept men in women's sports. This logic confuses category with competitive advantage. In sport, we control for categories like age, weight, para versus able-bodied, and above all, sex. Then an athlete's competitive advantages are allowed to play out within those categories. Allowing men to compete against women gives men a category advantage. No other category allows this. To the claim, if you actually want to protect women's student athletes, how about making sure the women's programs have equitable resources and facilities compared to their brothers? But this is exactly what is already required of Title IX, and it begins with protecting the female category. Equal distribution of resources to your women's programs becomes meaningless when your female athletes can be replaced by men. Finally, and most importantly, as federal law, Title IX supersedes state law and is not open to interpretation or suit any political agenda. In January, a federal court vacated Biden's Title IX rule change nationwide as arbitrary and capricious and a blatant attempt to bypass the legislative process. That court further held that when Title IX is viewed in its entirety, it's abundantly clear that discrimination on the basis of sex means discrimination on the basis of being male or female. This is the only legally permissible application of Title IX. This district can be supportive of all students without abandoning the truth. Now is the time to stand with the young women whose opportunity and fairness on the field and dignity in the locker room you are obligated to protect. I urge you to place the resolution on your next agenda.
Thank you, Allison. Brett, followed by Bailey Bear.
Hello, my name is Brett Williamson. I'm a student at Moorpark College. And I'd just like to say I support Trustee Pachowski's Title IX resolution. That's all.
Thank you, Brett. Bailey Bear, followed by Holden Smith.
Hi, my name is Bailey Bear. I'm a student at Moorpark College. I stand by Joe Pachowski in his decision with Title IX. I don't think it's fair for men to be in women's sports as a biological female myself. I also don't feel safe in the bathroom with men. That is just my truth, and I think it's pretty straightforward that a guy who is much stronger than me, like those two right there, are going to beat me at a sport, and they shouldn't be in the bathroom with me. Thank you.
Thank you, Bailey. Holden, followed by Haley Kilgore.
Hello, everyone. My name's Holden Smith. I'm a student at Moorpark College studying engineering, and I'm also a veteran. And I just wanted to come here and speak strongly in support of Joe Pachowski's resolution to uphold Title IX and preserve women's sports and private facilities. It's important that our female students have fair competition, safety, and privacy, and I would urge you guys to vote yes in favor of this resolution. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Holden. Haley, followed by Diana Marquez.
Hi, my name is Haley Kilgore. I am a student at Moorpark College, and I support Trustee Joe Pachowski's resolution to uphold Title IX. As a biological female, I do not feel comfortable with walking into a restroom with a bunch of men. I also believe that men do not belong in women's sports, and that is something that we need to protect. Thank you.
Thank you, Haley. Diana Marquez, followed by Alex Kelly.
As a Ventura County homeowner and resident for almost 25 years, I am very invested in the success of all of our students, especially those seeking higher education. You see, I'm a product of community college, and then I matriculated and graduated from UC Irvine with my bachelor's in biological sciences. I want to support local students to become educated and to matriculate into the higher paying jobs that Ventura County has to offer. I live near Amgen and other high-tech employers, and I would prefer that my tax dollars support local students to take these high-paying jobs rather than the H-1B visa holding imported and therefore exploited foreign workers. A higher paid local workforce will stimulate our local economies rather than stagnate it. It will increase home ownership and financial stability. But in order to attain that financial stability, students need a stable academic environment. They deserve not to be discriminated against, to not be harassed, to not be intimidated, and to not feel unwelcome and unsafe. They should not be subjected to religious bias. They should not be subjected to oppression or persecution. They do not deserve to be censored or silenced. What they do deserve is to be proud of who they are and what they are. They deserve to feel welcome and safe. They should have the freedom of their religion and not religious indoctrination. And they should have complete freedom of speech and expression, including the right to protest. They deserve unbiased leadership. They deserve leadership that is lawful, minimally lawful. For these reasons, I endorse and I implore the re-election of Miss Gabby Torres to continue to lead the trustees with her even hand, her respectful temperament, and her steady leadership. The students need stability, not chaos at the helm. Thank you.
Thank you, Diana. Alex Kelly.
Hello, everyone. My name is Alex Kelly, and I am a student at Ventura College and president of the Agricultural Club. I am very involved in student life, and I am here to express my opinions on the Title IX trans athlete ban. I'd like to begin with the fact that I think it's completely inappropriate that we have to be here to discuss the genitals of students, and with the due to the repeated pressing of the issue from Trustee Pachowski, here we are again. I felt the need to come while I'm on my winter break and make sure that my voice as a student and as a woman is heard. I have never once in my life felt threatened by a transgender person on campus. I have never felt threatened by a transgender person in my daily life, and I have competed in sports with men and women alike. I do not care. It is not an issue that should be being discussed here today. I'm aware that this is a nuanced conversation. However, this is not the Olympics. This is a community college district, and this is not something that is going to affect a population of students enough that we should be here addressing this. The population of trans athletes is so small, especially compared to the amount of hatred within the community that has been stirred up by the issue presented again and again. I think that it's incredibly dishonest to be bringing up people who you know will agree with the stance to ban trans athletes, email blasts to the GOP of Ventura County, and bringing in students from other districts so that you can farm sound bites that agree with you. You have no business speaking for me and my interests when they disagree with your stance so drastically. This matter will affect students within the district, not the Republican Party of Ventura County, and not students who attend a different district. If you really want input, put it to the students that are a part of the district you're supposed to be representing, not the people who are going to be agreeable mouthpieces for your rhetoric. So, Trustee Pachowski, since you haven't done so, I am here as a student and a woman who attends the Ventura County Community College District, telling you I do not agree with the ban of trans student athletes and that you are not representing my opinions. There is enough hatred going on in the world right now. Don't encourage more. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Alex. We move on to 3.4, which is statement in accordance with the Administrative Procedures 2715. And with this, we have speakers on the item. So we have additional speaker cards, and what I do have is cards that wanted to speak at items 4.1, 4.2. So once we reach those items, I can call you unless there was someone that was interested in making their. They say here. Aaron? Okay. Aaron? You're welcome. Aaron Marquez Lally.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Erin Marquez Lally, and I teach health and kinesiology at Oxnard College and have since 2017. I'm visiting you while on sabbatical because though I am off from teaching, my students are never off from being queer, Latinx, Black, female, differently abled, Indigenous, undocumented, insert your choice of underrepresented minority, etc. Trustee Vice Chair Lichtel, I knew it was your decision to close the meeting in honor and memory of Charlie Clerk in October, but thank you for clarifying that, just in case. Though shame on you for doubling down on the disgusting decision to do it in the first place. You were essentially a substitute teacher who went full-blown rogue and threw out Trustee Chair Torres's lesson plans. You did what you wanted on October 14th without respect to what should have occurred. You disregarded what month it actually was, Hispanic Heritage Month, a month that celebrates the vast majority of our students in this school district. Do you not care about the students because they don't look like you? Because they don't look like your buddy Charlie Kirk? We know based on the awful things Kirk said, he didn't care about the majority of the students in this amazing district, which is one of the biggest reasons why it was so absurd you chose to honor him to begin with. You know who you do look like? Your buddy old pal, Trustee Pachowski. Is that why it was so easy to pass his resolutions to honor his white ancestors for Italian American Heritage and Polish American Heritage Month? The same month all 4 white trustees didn't blink an eye in passing it unanimously? The same month all 4 white trustee dudes ignored Hispanic Heritage Month? I suppose it's easy to forget or not care when something doesn't affect you. Friendly reminder that this month is National Human Rights Month, but I'll get to more of that later. I want to make this really, really clear, Trustees Chancer, Mantooth, Lichtel, and Pachowski. This district is about our students, not you. It is about equity, diversity, inclusion, trust, integrity, and honesty. Let me repeat those 6 district-wide values in case anyone didn't hear them the first time. Equity, diversity, inclusion, trust, integrity, and honesty. And in case it's not crystal clear, I'm so glad that you are back, Trustee Chair Torres. And I really, really hope that you continue as our chair. This board, and especially our students, faculty, and staff, need you to continue to run this place and lead our board. I hope you continue to do so. Thank you.
Thank you, Erin. So thank you for the public comments. So we now move to 3.4, which is statement in accordance with Administrative Procedures 2715. And Trustee Pachowski.
Thank you, Chair Torres. I would like to address the joint statement made by the presidents of the academic senates at the November board meeting. I want to take this opportunity to directly and respectfully address those concerns, particularly regarding my request for employee emails and my statements in a chat group calling for the termination of a district employee. Despite my best efforts to be fair and bipartisan, I understand how my actions could cause concern and fear of retaliation among district employees. Regardless of my intentions, I recognize that the impact of my actions is what matters. I take responsibility for my actions, and I sincerely apologize. After reflection and consultation, I understand how my actions could be construed as being contrary to Board Policy and Administrative Procedure 2715 and Board Policy 2434. In light of that, I want to acknowledge that as a trustee, I am bound by the following principles. Individual trustees may not instruct or direct the chancellor or staff regarding personnel matters. Personnel decisions, including hiring, evaluation, discipline, and termination, rest exclusively with the chancellor and the administrative team. Individual trustees have no authority to investigate employees or demand personnel actions. The board functions as a collective decision-making body, not through individual trustee action. Trustees must separate personal and political interests from district governance. I want to be clear with district staff and faculty. While the law provides that I have the same rights as any citizen to request public records, I would not use information obtained from district records to target, intimidate, investigate, or retaliate against district employees. Moving forward, I commit to the following. I will continue participating in governance training to strengthen my understanding of trustee responsibilities. Trainings such as those offered by the Community College League of California have been invaluable, and I look forward to continuing this learning. I will work collaboratively with my fellow board members, respecting the collective decision-making process. This entire experience has underscored the importance of continuous improvement. In closing, I want to reiterate that I'm sorry for my actions and any distress they may have caused, and I remain committed to listening, learning, and serving in the best interests of our students, faculty, staff, and community. Thank you, Chair Torres.
Thank you, Trustee Pachowski, for your statement and your willingness to be able to work through the concerns. It's very much appreciated. And we look forward to moving the work, focusing as a board on our students, our faculty, our staff, and our community. So very much appreciated. With this, we move on to 3.5, which is acknowledgement of new employees. We welcome and are very excited to have all of the new employees that are joining our Ventura County Community College District. And I know that we will hear recognition of them through the various reports. Also, we want to recognize 3.6, recognition of the Ventura County Community College District retirees. We are so thankful for all of their service and commitment to our district and working within our students' community to really make this experience so enriching and be able to really do what we do best, instruct our students and be able to let them know of the amazing opportunities that they have for themselves. There are no acknowledgement of guests or special recognitions for item 3.7. And with this, we do move now to the annual organizational of our Board of Trustees, but we do have also public comments for that area. And so there are speakers who wanted to comment on 4.1 and 4.2. So I'm going to call you. And so we are going to begin with Nicole Block, followed by Dolores Ortiz.
Dear Board of Trustees, Student Trustee, and Chancellor, because consultation is after this item, this is the consultation for items 4.1 and 4.2. Trustees, please consider our values, vision, mission, and goals when electing a new board chair tonight. We need a board chair who does not have a political agenda and does not help other trustees fulfill their political agendas and that conflict with our district-wide values, mission, vision, and goals. When controversial, divisive, and political actions are made by the board, it hijacks our mission away from helping our students. The district needs a board chair who keeps the political agenda off the agenda in order to be in compliance with accreditation standards. For example, a resolution that did not go through any subcommittee of the board for even a discussion was brought directly to the Board of Trustees when Vice Chair Lichtel happened to be temporarily acting as chair. This was a resolution celebrating European heritage, specifically Polish and Italian heritage. This abrupt decision to put a resolution on the agenda while Chair Torres was on leave without a discussion in the subcommittee is a red flag. And even though it was also Hispanic Heritage Month and we are all three Hispanic serving institutions, only Polish and Italian heritage was celebrated during that October meeting by the vice chair. And there was no evidence presented about any Polish statistics in our district or Italian. When Vice Chair Lichtel made what he called a personal decision to close the October meeting in memoriam of a divisive political influencer, students and community members spoke up and voiced their feelings of exclusion. But in the November meeting, he ignored their voices and their concerns and instead defended his personal decision to take a political stand on the dais. This is another red flag, especially for, I'll skip that part. There are multiple concerns with this action. Number one, the Board of Trustees is required to only make actions as one unit. When one person makes a personal decision, it's not in compliance with a board policy. Honoring a divisive political influencer on the dais who regularly made hateful statements about people like our students is against AP 2715, which states that the board will place the good of the district above personal or political concerns. We are here to help students succeed through mission fulfillment, period. The infusion of a political agenda into board meetings is not only against board policy, but it also distracts us from helping our students. The board chair is there to keep everyone on mission and hold other board members accountable should they stray from that mission. Therefore, we would like a board chair that will keep focused on the students' first values, vision, mission, and goals of the district. Please elect or re-elect someone who can do just that. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole. Dolores Ortiz, followed by Rachel Johnson.
Good evening. Thank you. Within the recent 24 hours, the Ventura GOP, Ventura County Republican Party, sent out a mass email call to action to attend the VCCCD meeting tonight. Text of the email includes, quote, "Stand with Trustee Joe Pachowski, defend women's sports in Ventura County." The Ventura County Community College District is considering a strong resolution led by Trustee Joe Pachowski to protect women's athletics under Title IX and keep biological males out of female sports and private spaces on our campuses, end quote. Trustee Pachowski has been a longtime VC GOP committee member and should emphatically not put his personal or political concerns above the good of the district. This item is not even on the board agenda tonight, yet has garnered a majority of the public comments tonight. This action continues to add to a growing list of recent concerning issues with individual trustees, the breaking of board policies and administrative procedures by trustees, such as BP 2200, AP 2715B, BP 2434, BP 2715, AP 2715A, unethical behavior by individual trustees as outlined in the October MCOC and VC Academic Senate's joint statement, a continuous lack of support for faculty curriculum by trustees Lichtel and Pachowski based on their personal and political viewpoints, disregarding the extensive process followed by our campus curriculum subcommittees, the academic senates, and the district council on curriculum and instruction. During the October meeting, all student government senates, multiple classified senates, and all academic senates voiced their concerns. Despite hearing all of these concerns, Trustee Lichtel still made the individual choice to adjourn the meeting in memoriam of a divisive social media influencer. The student governments and community members spoke out loudly against this action in the November board meeting. And again, as chair, Trustee Lichtel reiterated his individual choice. He ignored and dismissed the voices of the students and community members. Under the chairship of Trustee Lichtel, the board also passed the two resolutions that have been spoken about without reading them aloud, also without receiving them from a board subcommittee. Despite all MCOC and VC student, academic, and classified students, or all of the senates, speaking out against them that night, our voices were ignored and they were passed. When a trustee does not follow board policy and administrative procedure and acts as an individual and not a part of the board as a whole, we do not meet accreditation standards. Clearly, the board subcommittees, specifically PASS, are being used to push politically biased personal agendas as opposed to solving issues within this district. These type of actions are a liability to the district. And more importantly, they are not sending messages of support to our students. We need to focus on our mission, vision, and values. Thank you.
Thank you, Dolores. Ariana Villalobos Castillo, followed by Berenice Rodriguez. Rachel. Rachel, I did miss you.
It's been a while.
It's good to see you, Rachel.
So good evening, trustees, chancellor, and esteemed individuals in the room. As Vice President of Academic Senate, I am here sitting in the spot on behalf of our Academic Senate President, who could not be here today. In lieu of being able to speak to the SET consultation regarding items 4.1 and 4.2, as the board considers its decision regarding the next committee chair and vice chair, I want to emphasize the importance of leadership grounded in collaboration, transparency, appropriate debate, and respect for shared governance. The role of a chair carries significant influence in shaping dialogue, guiding principle process, and ensuring that all voices are heard in a thoughtful and collegial manner. Faculty strongly support the selection of a chair who listens to and respects the concerns brought forward by students, staff, faculty, who approach the role with trust in the shared governance process. This position should not be used to advance personal or political agendas, but to rather uphold and advance the district's established vision, values, and mission. Faculty are seeking leadership that recognize the significant responsibility and authority in this role and exercise that power with care, making decisions that support rather than harm enrollment or accreditation, follow board policies, and support student success.
and that consistently place our diverse student population at the center of decision-making. Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel. Ariana, followed by Berenice.
Sorry, I'm short. Good evening, Board of Trustees, Student Trustee Ayash, Chancellor McLennan, and guests. My name is Ariana Villalobos Castillo, and I am a student of the Ventura County Community College District. I am speaking tonight as a student who is deeply invested in the leadership and future of our district as you vote on the next board chair and vice chair. Students are directly impacted by the tone, conduct, and decisions of this board. When trustees act individually rather than collectively or in ways that conflict with board policy and administrative procedures, it creates instability and eventually affects students in our classroom, our support services, and our trust in governance. Last meeting's joint statement from the academic senates of our colleges outlined serious concerns regarding policy violations, lack of collegiality, and actions that place the district at risk. As students, we look for leadership that listens, follows policy, and respects shared governance. We need a board chair and vice chair who place the good of the district above personal or political concerns, as outlined in AP 2715A Board Code of Ethics. From a student perspective, I want to state that I am most confident in Trustee Gabriela Torres. Trustee Torres has consistently demonstrated respect for student voices, an understanding of shared governance, and a commitment to serving the district as a whole rather than acting individually. That kind of leadership is what students need right now. Leadership that rebuilds trust, promotes collaboration, and keeps student success at the center of decision-making. Mr. Chancellor, I am most confident in Trustee Torres. Mr. Mantooth, I am most confident in Trustee Torres. Chancellor McLennan, I am most confident in Trustee Torres. Chair Torres, I am most confident in you. Trustee Litchell, I am most confident in Trustee Torres. Trustee Pachowski, I am most confident in Trustee Torres. Student Trustee Ayash, I am most confident in Trustee Torres. Tonight's vote is not just about filling positions. It is about setting the tone for this district moving forward. I urge the board to consider student voices and to select leadership that reflects integrity, accountability, and a genuine commitment to serving our colleges and our students. Thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you, Ariana. Berenice, followed by Eva Ryan Covarrubias.
Good evening. As you consider leadership for the coming year, I want to share my perspective both personally and professionally. I'm a proud first-generation college student and was once a single mother on government assistance and a full-time student at Oxnard College. I understand firsthand the challenges many of our students face balancing school, work, family responsibilities, financial insecurity, and uncertainty about the future. I stand here today speaking on behalf of those students, the ones who need support, who need empathy, and who need strong advocates. I'm also speaking in my role as Classified Senate President, representing classified professionals who work closely with students every day. Our classified staff are often the first point of contact for students in crisis, and we see the direct impact board decisions and leaderships have on student success and campus climate. The chair and vice chair set the tone for this body. Those roles require leadership that is measured, respectful, and grounded in impartiality. We need leaders who understand the scope of their role, who honor governance boundaries, and who keep personal ideologies separate from the work of this board. Our students come from diverse backgrounds and hold diverse beliefs. They deserve trustees who lead with neutrality, fairness, and a clear focus on student success and community trust, not political positioning. We are living in a time when many people are hesitant to speak up, and that makes it even more critical that this board's leadership creates an environment where voices feel safe, respected, and heard. I respectfully urge the board to select leaders who have consistently demonstrated integrity, collaboration, and a genuine commitment to the best interest of our students and the community we serve. I would like to acknowledge Trustee Torres for the exceptional job she has done in her current role as chair. Her leadership has been thoughtful, steady, and impartial, and she has consistently demonstrated a commitment to collaboration, fairness, and student-centered decision-making.
I would welcome the opportunity to see her continue serving in this capacity. Thank you for your time and for your thoughtful consideration.
Thank you, Berenice. Eva, followed by Sergio Arana.
Hello, everyone. I am Eva. I am the ASMC president. I'm trying to find my clicker. Sorry. Got on here with my computer. Okay, but I'm speaking as a student right now. Okay. Okay, I want to preface with this. Although I do believe that we should keep our current chair as our leading lady at the VCCCD Board of Trustees meetings, I do feel a sense of urgency to speak under the presumption that a new trustee be elected here tonight. So I will comment from that vantage point. With that said, I want to briefly reflect on my observations during my time spent in this room as a student leader at Moore Park College. I have seen a resolution being passed without proper citing and without foresight of how our students will experience the effects of this resolution. And I have witnessed the confidence of certain trustees fly over the proper practices and procedures of administrative policies and board policies. I've seen a trustee attempt to fire employees on shaky ground. I've seen a level of selfishness in conversation and in language that is aimed with political agendas rather than student success and celebration. And I've spent a lot of my time writing civility statements, checking on our student trustee on false reporting, and fighting with politics or about politics tooth and nail alongside academic and classified senates of our 3 colleges. I hope that my efforts have been constructive. However, neutrality is the ideal state of unbiased judgment, and I have observed very little of this notion from certain trustees. I think it's fair to ask that as we shift into more diverse and inclusive times, our sphere that is our college campuses and their respected district, that we do all our best to practice and be proactive for advocating within this shift and keep our practices and procedures student-centered and with the best interest of our students at the forefront of our task lists. Our students, faculty, and staff deserve this sort of effort from us who have either been hired or elected to represent and make decisions on their behalf. Trustee Lichtel made a comment about Charlie Kirk some months ago. Oh my gosh, sorry. Some months ago, and the problem right here, right now in this moment isn't so much that Lichtel made the comment about Charlie Kirk so much as it is the lacking care and understanding that was forgotten about in the final comments of the following meeting after much public comment had been made and after hearing all of the outrage from the community over which the trustees preside. Trustee Lichtel, your failure to recognize the fault within your politically polar and politically charged language, as well as your failure to validate the feelings of others in this community and the students who attend the colleges, is one part of your leadership that I as a student find quite distasteful. The Charlie Kirk bit was not an endearing comment. It was not student-centered. And to add insult to injury, it is alarming that you could not empathize with those who were hurt by this comment. I have had a hard time imagining someone who cannot or will not empathize with this community being elected to our district's chair. Going forward, for whomever to be elected tonight, I urge you to lead with conviction for the students who do not and cannot attend these meetings. And I urge you to care for language because it is powerful. To make the most of these meetings and to do right by the majority of the student population, please let neutrality and rationality be your guiding hand as we venture to this new year.
Thank you, Eva.
Thank you.
Sergio Arana.
Hello. Good evening, Chancellor McLennan, trustees, and student trustee. My name is Sergio Arana, and I am speaking not only as an employee, but as a concerned community member. I want to express my support for the many statements that have been made by classified senates, academic senates, and student government in regard to the actions of the board. It is very disheartening seeing that after so many have spoken up, that we are still not being heard. These actions do not only threaten the district's accreditation, but they also damage its reputation and employee morale, ultimately affecting the success of our students. I ask that the board keep that in mind when selecting its chair and vice chair. We need a board chair who listens to our voices, is here to serve our students, and embodies the values of our district, and who places, quote, the good of the district above personal or political concerns. Thank you for your time. I look forward to seeing improvement.
Thank you, Sergio. And this ends our public comments for this item. Thank you, everybody, for your comments. As the board is going forward to the election of a chair and a vice chair. And I will say that it's been such a pleasure for me to be able to serve as the chair this past year, and to be able to hear so many comments really warms my heart, and to see so many people present tonight is who we are as a Ventura County Community College District. And so with this, it's been a pleasure. And so now I believe I hand the gavel to you, Joey, who's going to be leading us into the annual organization.
Hi, Joseph Sanchez, legal counsel for the district, and I have been asked to facilitate the election of the board chair. And so the first step is to call for nominations for board chair. And so right now I will call for any nominations for board chair. Trustee Mantooth?
Two questions before I go further. Are we intending to follow Robert's Rules of Order in this procedure?
The process is, I believe the process that's been used in the past, from what I understand. There will be a call for nominations, and then as many that are nominations there are, and then we will then go down for each nomination and ask if there's a first for a second. And then there will be a vote, a roll call vote for the first nominee, and if there's a second nominee, and so that whatever that count is, and if there's a second nominee, then there will be a roll call vote there, and whichever will after a second. Of course, there'll be discussion after the second for both nominations. So in that sense, yes, in the after both votes have occurred, then we will we will state which of the nominees received the most votes, and then I will ask the board I'll ask for a nomination and a second to basically certify the final vote, and then that will be the final vote to elect the chair.
Okay, thank you.
And I
for
believe
that.
it's my understanding that this is how this body has elected the chairs in the past. Yeah.
I think that's essentially correct. The reason I asked the question is because in Robert's Rules of Order, a nomination does not necessarily require a second, and an individual can nominate themselves as well.
And in this instance, I don't believe there's any statement that says that an individual cannot nominate themselves.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
In that case, I have a second question, which I would like to direct to Chair Torres.
Please.
If you are nominated, would you be willing to serve in this capacity and be able to devote the time and the stewardship that you've so deservedly shown in this past year?
Yes.
Then I nominate Gabriela Torres for board chair.
Okay. And it sounds like you've already answered the question. Would you accept the nomination?
I accept the nomination.
Okay. Are there any other nominations?
Yes, I nominate myself to serve as chair of this board.
Okay. So we're going to take the first nomination first. And, oh, wait, are there any other nominations? I'm sorry. Seeing no other nominations, we'll take a roll call vote on each nomination in the order that they were received. So for the first nominee, Trustee Torres, we had a nomination by Trustee Mantooth, a second by Trustee Chancellor, and I'm going to go down. Was there any discussion? Seeing no discussion, we will go to a roll call vote. Trustee Torres?
Aye.
Trustee Lichtel? Trustee Mantooth? Trustee Chancellor? And Trustee Pachowski? Student advisory vote?
Aye.
So we have 3 votes and the student trustee in favor, and we have 2 votes no. We're going to move to the nomination for Trustee Lichtel, and I'll do a roll call vote. Trustee Torres?
Is there an opportunity for discussion prior?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I'd like to say that I'll stand by my record as far as voting on the items. I think that speaks for itself throughout the last 3 years that I've served on this board. And I also believe that my experiential background in education does serve this board well. And I would do that within not only the statute, but our board policies and our administrative regulations. And that's the only reason why I put myself up for an election. I believe that our meetings are highly inefficient in many ways. And I think that it's important for us as a board to tighten ourselves up. I believe this board needs extensive board training, which is something I would commit to, not only for myself, but also for the board in really making not only better decisions for our students, but in providing a better, quite frankly, product during these board meetings. So thank you.
Any further discussion? Okay, I'll do the roll call vote. Trustee Torres,
This is for the nomination.
this
of
is
chair.
for the nomination for Trustee Lichtel to be the board chair.
Nay.
Trustee Lichtel. Trustee Mantooth. Trustee Chancellor. Trustee Pachowski. Student trustee advisory vote.
Nay.
So as the results, we had two nominees for board chair, and we had 3 trustee votes in favor of Trustee Torres and 2 votes in favor of Trustee Lichtel. Trustee Torres have received the majority of the votes. I now need a motion and a second to accept the results of the vote. Do I have a motion for that? Trustee Lichtel moves the acceptance of the vote. Do I have a second? Trustee Pachowski moves for, seconded the vote. I'm going to do a roll call vote. Trustee Torres. This is to accept Trustee Torres as the chair.
Aye.
Trustee Lichtel. Trustee Mantooth. Trustee Chancellor. Trustee Pachowski. Student trustee.
Aye.
We have a unanimous vote, and Trustee Torres will remain the chair of the board.
Okay.
And your first act as chair of the board is to now do the next item, which is the election of the, I believe, the vice chair. We have a script for that. I don't know if you have that up there, but okay.
Okay, trustees. I feel very touched, very much to be able to be here and to serve for another year. And so I want to be able to now go to 4.02, which is the election of the vice chair of Board of Trustees. Are there any nominations for a vice chair?
I would like to nominate Trustee Lichtel.
Is there a second? Well, first, Trustee Lichtel, would you be willing to accept the nomination to be a vice chair?
No.
Okay. Are there other nominations for a vice chair?
I'd like to nominate Trustee Chancellor to serve as vice chair.
Is there a second? Or will Trustee Chancellor, do you accept the nomination to be vice chair?
I'll second.
Okay. Are there any other nominations? Okay, hearing no further nominations, we will move to a roll call vote. Roll call vote.
Aye.
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 Aye. Congratulations, Trustee Chancellor. You're our new vice chair. Okay, item 4.04.
Can I switch with trustee chancellors?
Absolutely.
I think Lou needs the microphone. Josh.
He has his microphone.
Is that your version of a mic drop or what was that?
Drop start.
Okay. So we have item 4.04, which is action to appoint the clerk of the board. Are there any nominations?
Action isn't 4.3,
Here, 4.4 on this.
but we didn't do 4.3.
Okay. So we'll go 4.03, action to elect the secretary of the board. Are there any nominations?
As I recall.
So,
And I have full trust that he'll be able to do this position well.
Chancellor, do you accept?
I will accept the appointment.
So Jay, we have here on what I was handed that we need to have a roll call vote also for the secretary of the board. So I just want to make sure that we are following the appropriate procedure. So we do need to have the motions made. Okay. So we had the chancellor that was nominated, I believe, by Trustee Lichtel. And is there a second? I know our chancellor accepted the nomination.
Second. Oh.
Seconded by Trustee Mantooth. Roll call vote, please, Michelle.
Aye.
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 Aye. Thank you. Item 4.04, action to appoint the clerk of the board. Are there any nominations?
I
Okay.
second that.
Okay. So we have the nomination made by Trustee Lichto, which Michelle accepts, and it was seconded by by our student trustee. Roll call vote, please.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Michelle. Okay, 4.05. This is where we elect a board member to be the representative to vote in the election for members of the County Committee on the School District Organization. I believe last year
That was me.
it was Trustee Pachowski. Do you want to share a little bit, Trustee Pachowski, what that experience was like?
It really wasn't much of an experience.
No.
It was one meeting,
Okay.
just held maybe a month or so ago. Basically what the County Committee on School District Organization is, it basically decides where boundaries are in the event that there's some sort of a boundary discussion as far as boundaries between the different school districts. At this point, with the county being basically built out, there isn't much that goes on with that. The meeting took all of about 10 minutes, to be honest with you. But that's what it does.
Okay. Thank you. Is there a trustee who would be interested in representing us during this, seems like once a year meeting?
Chair Torres, is there a trustee that has not served on that committee?
I know I did a while back.
I have not.
Okay. Trustee Mantu, would you like to represent it? Okay.
Second.
Okay, so motion made, is it, well, I made the motion. And seconded by trustee Pachowski. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes. We move to 4.06. We do have the schedule of regular board meetings for 2026. So board members, if you want to go ahead and pull your calendars up to take a look at this meeting. There is one of the items that we discussed earlier today during review of the agenda. You'll notice the February meeting, I believe there was a discussion to be able to make changes to it because some trustees may be going, I believe, to the conference in Washington, D.C. So there was, you'll see February 10th. And so there was a conversation to perhaps have it moved to a Thursday, February 12th for your consideration. And that's about the only item that we noticed this earlier today. That would be different from what you have in front of you.
Chair Torres, I would
Trust-
suggest that instead we go with the following Tuesday, if possible, because coming back, that's a pretty intense several days at the ACCT Legislative Summit. And I'm just concerned that it may not give some of us adequate time to prepare for the meeting.
Thank you, trustee Pachowski. Trustee Mantis.
I concur with trustee Pachowski. And I can see at least one likely scenario which would not allow me to attend the meeting on the 12th.
Okay,
So the next Tuesday would be better.
okay. The next Tuesday, just for trustees, I believe the district is going to have a 4-day holiday because of President's Day. I believe the 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th. So in that discussion, it was mentioned if trustees have questions, there won't be, the staff's not working, so they wouldn't be able to respond to any questions that we may have regarding the agenda.
Chair Torres,
Trustee Lichtel,
can we move to that Thursday?
19th?
the 19th. Trustee Chancellor.
Unfortunately, I looked at my calendar, that week I'm out of the country. So I have that week off work, so I already have some pre-planned bookings. So my request would be, would be still to go with the 12th on that Thursday, but I understand, obviously, we're a group of whatever works best for the group.
Are you talking about January or February's?
February's meeting. So what we can do is we can approve the calendar with the February date tentative, and we can maybe have someone from the chancellor's office just send multiple dates, perhaps. Like a chancellor?
Yeah, I'm not clear if we were required to, as part of the organization, to actually have a calendar set at this meeting. Huh? So it would be worth setting a date and then adjusting the date going forward. So I would pick a date, and we're knowing that we have to figure out something that's going to work.
Chair
for
Torres.
the majority of the.
Trustee Lichtel?
So might understand that on the 10th, you guys are in Washington DC for the summit on the 10th?
The 10th is a return date back, right?
Wednesday's the return date. So it would be the 11th is the return date.
Okay. So there's a lot to consider here because just moving it till that Thursday, for example, the 12th, even though that sounds great, it really is not going to work from the standpoint of agenda, publication, opportunity to answer questions. If staff is out of town, it doesn't work for you anyhow, does it, Trustee Chancellor?
Thursday, the 12th.
Thursday the 12th. You're out the following week. Okay. And then the following, that Tuesday is a holiday on Friday prior, and the Monday prior is also a holiday, which means the agenda would be posted on Thursday evening with no one to respond to questions or collaborate with or consult with or whatever else might happen, which I don't really find to be extremely effective. From my standpoint, I think that Thursday, either the 12th or the 19th rather, is probably the only viable date unless we can go into that following week, which I don't think we can based on our meeting calendar. Is that correct?
That's where it starts to get it problematic with the participatory committee
How,
meetings. that
how
go on.
problematic?
Pretty significantly problematic. We've traditionally moved the January board meeting because of the Christmas break to accommodate those governance processes. And so if we keep that cycle going, we're going to be we're going to have trouble for the rest of the year. So.
Well, I'm not hearing a great solution. And so I'll make a motion and we can vote it up or down. It doesn't matter to me. But I move that we move that meeting to Thursday, February the 19th.
Second.
Okay, so motion made to move to February 19th, made by trustee Lichtel, seconded by trustee Pachowski.
I'll
Trustee
check
Chancellor.
with Mr. Sanchez, but I know there was a new law through Ed Code post-COVID that trustees are allowed to attend one meeting a month via Zoom, a formal meeting if circumstances. So I'll make sure I'll check to see if my circumstances qualify for that, and then I can just attend that one meeting.
Well,
via
thank
Zoom.
you for doing that, for
Yeah.
accommodating that.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, trustee Chancellor. Okay, so we have a motion made by trustee Lichtel, seconded by trustee Pachowski for February 19th.
We're just voting on February's meeting, correct?
This is it's going to be the February 19th meeting, and then with our calendar, and we're agreeing on February 19th.
Right, but we're not approving the entire calendar right now.
Yes.
Because student trustee has a question about March.
Okay,
Yeah.
student trustee.
Regarding March 10th, I may possibly be competing on the speech and debate team
Hmm.
on like for state. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to make it the 10th to the 14th that week. But I think I can double check to get back to you regarding if I can do it online,
Okay,
if that's acceptable.
that would be appreciated.
Excellent.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Chair Torres,
Trustee Pachowski.
I want to point out that board policy 2310 states verbatim, one regular meeting of the board shall be held each month. That means that we cannot go the month of July without a meeting. So we need to set a date for July.
Council Sanchez.
It doesn't say should, it says shall. That's the language of the policy.
The board can schedule a meeting and then you can always, I mean, even though that's the board policy, as a board, you as a board could, by a majority vote, elect to not have a meeting in July, which was what happened this July. And I've been involved in other districts where that by a majority vote that there is a vote to not have a meeting in a particular month. So I don't see a concern, but if the board is more comfortable, you could always set a date. And I also recommend maybe in the future revisiting that policy because it does seem like July is a difficult month to hold a board meeting. And then you can always fix the board policy at a later date. So perhaps you allow for a meeting in July now, but then bring back at a future meeting a motion to change that policy. Okay?
Chair Torres, can I ask a question of Attorney Sanchez?
Of course, trustee Lichtel.
Would a board study session or board development session count as a board meeting?
Does it say regular meeting?
It says regular meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's my answer.
One regular meeting of the board shall be held each month.
Then, in accordance with board policy, I believe that we should set a meeting for the second Tuesday of the month in July. And if between now and that date, the board policy is changed to reflect our ability to postpone or cancel that meeting, then we take that item up at that time.
That would be the 14th.
Thank you. Mr.
Second.
Calendar,
Second. Well, I got the calendar pulled up.
I get that.
Okay, so it sounds like what we have for our calendar, and this is the calendar we're going to be approving. We have for the month of February, February 19th as our board meeting. For July, we have July 14th. And so now we are ready to make the motion.
I think a motion's on the floor. And a second.
Okay, so let's take a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you. Motion passes. Okay, 4.7 is appointment for the 2026 representatives for board committees. I will communicate with board members to let you know about the board committees. If there is a board committee that you are interested, you can send me an email and let me know, but I will be letting Board of Trustees know what will be their appointed committees that they will sit in.
Chair Torres.
Trustee Lichtel?
I appreciate that you want us to send you the information and then you'll make the decision, but I thought maybe we would be open to some discussion based on the needs of those committees as well as the expertise or directions that our board members would like to go in within those committees. But if that's not your choice, then I'll be happy to email you.
We can have the discussion. I'm most certainly I'm open to the discussion and then to hear people's input if you wanted to hear dialogue from the other trustees. And then the appointment, I will let the trustees know.
Okay. So if I may, I'll kick it off.
Absolutely.
I
Trustee
value
Lichtel.
collaboration within our board. So I think it's important for us to have a discussion here at this point regarding this issue. I have no preference which committee I serve on. I've been on PASS and I've been on ASC. I'm happy to serve on whichever one you appoint me to.
Thank you, Trustee Lichtel.
No.
Thank you, Trustee Mantooth. Any other discussion? Or
Having served on PASS this past year, I'd like to go to ASC.
okay. Trustee Chancer?
I'm good.
Okay. Okay, thank you. With this, we move on to consultation, and we have classified Senate President's consultation, and we'll start with Ventura College.
Good evening, Chancellor McLennan, members of the Board of Trustees, student trustee, and guest. My name is Oscar Rivera, and I serve as the Classified Senate President at Ventura College. This evening, I will be providing a consultation on the following items. 3.6. The Ventura College community thanks Marta Munoz for her dedicated service and a meaningful impact on students and families. We wish her all the best in her well-earned retirement. 6.1. ASVC. The VC Classified Senate commends ASVC for their outstanding work in supporting students and strengthening campus life through student-led events, academic and wellness support during finals, civic engagement initiatives, and advocacy at the campus and statewide level. ASVC continues to elevate student voices, build community, and create meaningful opportunities for students' success and belonging. 6.6. VC President Report. We are proud that Ventura College continues to host a wide range of campus events that promote connection, learning, and belonging. Events such as Transgender Day of Remembrance and the celebration of Native American culture and heritage are strong examples of how our campus comes together to honor community, foster understanding, and create unity. 14.3. Classified Senate fully supports opportunities that expand student learning beyond campus and connect education to real-world global experiences. International programs like this strengthens cultural awareness, enriches the student experience, and reflects our shared commitment to providing meaningful and inclusive learning opportunities. 16.4. Ventura College curriculum. This new curriculum in honors courses is a great step forward for our students at Ventura College. It opens new learning opportunities and helps ensure our courses stay engaging, relevant, and aligned with what students need to succeed. Lastly, on behalf of Ventura College Classified Senate, we wish you all a wonderful holiday season and Happy New Year. Thank you.
Thank you. Moore Park. Art.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Kristen Robinson, and I'm representing the Moore Park College Classified Senate. For 3.5, acknowledgement of new employees. Again, congratulations to everyone who's gotten to join our district in the month of November, but especially welcome to Andrea Alcatar, who's the zoo operations assistant. In this capacity, Andrea will help oversee the maintenance and care of the animal population of the zoo while providing guidance and instructional assistance to students. And so we're delighted to have her. On the other end of the spectrum, 3.6, recognition of VCCD district retirees. Congratulations to Lizette Ali Van de Waffe on her impending retirement from Moore Park College. She spent actually about 10 years with the district, first at the District Administrative Center supporting its purchasing office before going to Ventura College and supporting its nursing program, and ultimately ending up at Moore Park College supporting our deans of student learning, specifically the areas of access, EOPS, care, CalWorks, Next Up, Dreamers, PACE, Raider Central, and the Veterans Resource Center. We hope she enjoys managing her home fruit orchard and spending time with her husband during her retirement. For 4.1 and 4.2 appointment of board chair and vice chair, I would just like to commend my colleagues on their public comment. And I think some of the comments were indicating that they felt a lack of being heard. And I think that the vote tonight should hopefully make them feel heard. 6.6 college presidents reports. This report I know you receive annually. It's put together through the guidance of our executive teams. I think our marketing coordinator, who's a classified employee, Dina, makes it look lovely. But I just wanted to highlight this one especially because it has an oversight of the facilities vision plan, and most, if not all, of the projects outlined in the report fall to our facilities maintenance and operations staff, which houses the most classified employees at MC than any other department. And so we really appreciate their leadership and that of others for keeping our facilities safe and up to date as much as we can. For the curriculum, congratulations to faculty who worked on these programs, and we think they will benefit our engineering students and impact positively the classified colleagues who support them. And lastly, fall 2025 candidates for graduation and certificates at Moore Park College, 16.5. Congratulations to the graduates, and thank you to all classified employees who played a direct or tangential role in helping our students attain their certificate and degree completion goals. We hope the students are really proud of themselves. Thank you.
Thank you. Oxnard College.
Good evening, Chancellor, Board of Trustees, and guests. I'm Berenice Rodriguez, the Oxnard College Classified Senate President. So in consultation with 3.4 Trustee Pachowski's statement, I'd like to acknowledge Trustee Pachowski's reflection and commitment to training, collaboration, and growth. I'm hopeful this will lead to effective and respectful governance moving forward. 3.6, recognition of VCCD retirees. Oxnard College has lost many classified professionals this month, and today we'd like to recognize Manuel Sotelo, Oxnard College's custodian, who dedicated 31 years to our district. I'd also like to acknowledge Martha Munoz, CalWorks counselor / coordinator, who worked with some of our most vulnerable students and ensured that they received the services they needed. We wish them both a restful and wonderful retirement. And 4.1, election of the 2026 Board of Trustees Chair. I'd like to thank the board for hearing the voices of the community. Congratulations, Trustee Torres, on your re-election. We're grateful for your continued leadership and service of our students and community. 6.4, Classified Senate President's Report. I would like to highlight a very important section of my report. Last month, we collaborated with the Oxnard College Foundation and raised funds to help students that were affected by the SNAP freeze. I'm extremely happy to report that we raised a total of $3,447 in donations, a total of $6,984 with the foundation's match. Because of this, we will be able to provide pantry-safe food for 120 students, and we will be distributing the food tomorrow and Thursday with the help of the Grinch, classified staff, and student workers. I'm very grateful to everyone that donated to the foundation for their continued support and to those who have helped me in the process to ensure our distribution goes smoothly. 11.1, approval and ratification of personnel. I'd like to welcome Maria Magaña, our new administrative assistant for public safety. And 16.6, fall 2025 candidates for graduation and certificates at Oxnard College. We'd like to congratulate all of our fall graduates. This is an amazing accomplishment, and we're very proud of each and every graduate. Thank you.
Thank you. Academic Senate President's consultation. Oh, thank you. Diana.
Hi, good evening, Board of Trustees, Chancellor McLennan, Student Trustee Ayash, and members of the public. My name is Diana Martin, and I serve as the Classified Senate President for the District Administrative Center. On items 3.5 and 11.1, on behalf of the Classified Senate, I'd like to extend a warm welcome and congratulations to the newly appointed members of our District Administrative Center. That's Sheila Liu, Senior Accounting Technician, Scott Pilch, Director of Employment Services, and Chelsea Russell, Executive Director of Operations. We look forward to collaborating with each of you as we continue the work of supporting our colleges and communities. On item 4.1, congratulations to Chair Torres on her re-election as chair of the board. The Classified Senate appreciates your continued service and leadership. We look forward to another year of collaborative work grounded in transparency, accountability, and a shared commitment to our district's values. Finally, on item 6.5, 6, 7, congratulations to the fall 2025 candidates for graduation and certificates across all 3 colleges. Your achievements are the culmination of determination, support, and belief in yourselves and in the promise of higher education. We celebrate you and everyone who helped get you there. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Academic Senate consultation, starting with Moore Park.
Hello, trustees, chancellor, and student trustee. Hello. On item 3.4, I would like to thank Trustee Pachowski for your thoughtful statement today, and we look forward to moving forward in a nonpartisan way that focuses on the district-wide values, vision, mission, and goals. Thank you. 3.5 and 3.6, welcome to new Moore Park College employee, Andrea Alcantar, for Zoo Operations Assistant. And also congratulations on the retirement of Lizette Alivandivafa, Administrative Assistant in Moore Park College. On item 4.1, we would like to thank Chair Torres on your leadership and thank the board for electing Chair Torres as chair of the Board of Trustees again. And also congratulate Trustee Chancer on your election as vice chair. We appreciate your abilities to listen to the different voices and ensure they are all heard. Thank you. 16.2, 16.3, and 16.4. We want to thank the curriculum committees at each college for the hard work they do researching student needs, labor market trends, articulation agreements, transfer needs, collaborating with faculty and administration, keeping up to date on laws and regulations, and making sure we fulfill the mission, vision, and values of VCCCD. Curriculum work requires expertise and a breadth of knowledge that takes years to attain. I've been to the Curriculum Institute and it is a lot. So I want to just give a big shout out to all the folks who work on all the curriculum committees and say thank you. And that's my consultation. Thank you.
Thank you. Oxnard College.
Good evening, trustees, chancellor, and student trustee. 16.3, the Oxnard College curriculum. I would like to express my strong support for all of the Oxnard College curriculum, including the 2 courses my campus received questions about. It's my daughter's 21st birthday today, so I don't know if I'll stay for the item later. So, just a warning about my comments here in consultation. I urge the board to respect the extensive process followed by the campus curriculum subcommittees, the academic senates, and the district council on curriculum and instruction. In particular, I'd like to speak in support of the 2 courses we received inquiries from a trustee about. So this is Kinesiology R206, Sports Officiating, and Kinesiology R205, Women in Sport and Fitness. The Sports Officiating course is intended to fill the knowledge gap identified by the Cal State system kinesiology chairs for incoming kinesiology transfer students to better prepare them for their studies. It will also eventually be a required component of a future certificate. So we're trying to do our part by offering this course, which is offered at other California community colleges. Kinesiology R206, Women in Sport, is very similar to the Women in Sport course that was passed in the spring, with much discussion and questioning within our own district, and is also part of a sports management degree at several other California community colleges. So I would like to express my support for both of those courses. I would also like to share with the board that the California Community College Curriculum Committee, so 5C at the state level, in 2020 created a set of recommended priorities that focused on championing equity-minded curriculum and practices for credit and non-credit instruction. The committee, again, at the state level, it's 5C, created a work group in fall of 21, which was charged with developing guidance for the field and recommendations on how to support the implementation of culturally relevant and responsive curriculum at local levels. So out of that work group, they've created a system-wide framework called, and this is a document that you can find, we can also send it to you, DEI in Curriculum, Model, Principles, and Practices. So now we're in 2025, this fall, in submitting updates to our curriculum, all faculty throughout the entire state, all disciplines have been required. We've been given the requirement in the curriculum process to specifically answer this question. How does each course, or how does your course, how does this course incorporate diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility, DEIA, in their curriculum submissions? So, if you see diversity, equity, inclusion, or accessibility in our course outline of record, know that we are now required to report on it specifically to get that curriculum passed at the state level. I would also just like to remind the board, and we've had this conversation before, but about Title V, specifically Section 53203. In this district, we mutually agree, right? So we, the academic senates, have the right to collegial consultation to appear before the board. And we've chosen to mutually agree when we adopt procedures, right? So when mutually agree and an agreement has not been reached, say if, for example, we didn't agree on the curriculum, as happened or almost happened in the spring, existing policy shall remain in effect except in cases of legal liability or fiscal hardship. In those cases only, in those two cases only, legal liability or fiscal hardship, the board may act after a good faith effort to reach agreement only for compelling legal, fiscal, or organizational reasons. So that would really be the only reason to not approve this curriculum that has been passed through the local curriculum subcommittee, the local academic senate, the district council on instruction and curriculum, and complies with the state standards. Thank you. And then lastly, 16.5, 16.6, 16.7, the fall 2025 graduates from across the district. Congratulations to all of the students. I know most of them take courses at 2 or 3 of our campuses. So best wishes on your continuing journeys. Thank you.
Thank you. Ventura College.
Good evening, trustees, student trustee, chancellor, and esteemed individuals in the room. For 3.6, we want to send our congratulations to Marta Munoz on their retirement. For 14.3, we are in support of the VC faculty and student international travel to London for this valuable learning opportunity. And I'm currently determining which suitcase I'm going to stow away in. For 16.2, 16.3, and 16.4, we fully support curriculum across all 3 colleges. We affirm that curriculum decisions remain within faculty purview. Approving curriculum for each college allows faculty and students to engage in meaningful, rigorous dialogue that is essential to comprehensive educational experiences. When courses are not approved, those critical opportunities for learning and discourse are diminished. All curriculum have already undergone a thorough and extensive vetting process at both the college and district levels and has received the appropriate approvals at each stage. Supporting curriculum approval upholds academic freedom, honors the principles of shared governance, and ensures students have the access to a rich, inclusive educational experience grounded in thoughtful inquiry and open dialogue. And for 16.7, congratulations to all of our graduates. We wholeheartedly support this item and your hard work that has led you to this accomplishment.
Thank you, Rachel. Associated Student Government President's Consultation. Do we start with Oxnard College?
Sorry. Oh, sorry. I was hoping we could start with Ventura College. They are on Zoom.
Okay. Absolutely.
Yeah, they want to do consultation report via Zoom.
Ventura College.
All right, hello. Can you hear me all right? Oh, hello, is the audio working? Hello, is the audio working?
It's working a little. Go ahead. Just speak
Oh.
loudly.
Okay. Can you hear me all right now?
Better.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, Board of Trustees, Chancellor McLennan, and guests. On behalf of the associate students, we recognize several items that impact us this evening. Starting with 4.1, I'd like to extend my congratulations to Chair Torres on being reelected. We value and trust your continued leadership on this board. Item 6.4, the Classified Senate Report. There is a portion that shares the professional development opportunities, increasing visibility within student services for classified staff, and this work is very vital as it represents and maintains student-centered approach. So we really greatly appreciate that. Item 6.6, the Ventura College President's Report. The portion of the report that includes the Trans Day of Remembrance event was wonderful to see such great success. It's events and celebrations like this that are incredibly important as they remind students that Ventura College is a place where all individuals are supported, valued, and served regardless of identity. Item 8.3, acceptance of gifts for the fiscal year 2025-2026. The students fully support the acceptance of the generous donation totaling $30,534.42 from the Ventura College Foundation. We extend a heartfelt thank you to the foundation and their team for their continued commitment to enhancing our student opportunities and resources. Item 14.3, international travel. This is such an amazing opportunity, and I'd like to express strong support for the approval of this item. Item 16.4, Ventura College curriculum. Students show strong support for the approval of the Introduction to Sociology honors course, as this expands academic opportunities and allows students to further challenge themselves within their educational pathways. And lastly, items 16.5, 16.6, and 16.7. Grand congratulations to the fall 2025 candidates for graduation and certificates across all campuses. Thank you.
Thank you. Oxnard College.
Good evening, Board of Trustees, Student Trustee Ayash, Chancellor McLennan, and guests. For my consultation 4.1, congratulations to Chair Torres for being reelected. Agenda item 12.1, OCHG is in support of the new BP/AP for the Associate Student Elections. 16.2 to 16.7, OCHG is in support. Thank you.
Thank you. Moore Park College.
Hello? Okay. Congratulations, Chair Torres. I'm happy that you're here still, as our chair. I wanted to consult on item 3.3 for public comments. Thank you to everyone for your public comments and for speaking out on the concerns. I know a bunch of people have left, but just for the record, that you deem important for those issues that you have conviction for, you truly make a difference, if not in policy, then in spirit. There is a lot of hope in the public comment portion of this meeting, and it's really the first spark of the process of change that takes place here. Even if our views do not align, and even if change is not felt immediately, taking actions such as this and participating in these meetings is of value. Also, listening and watching to those who speak out publicly has been an integral part of my educational journey, because not only do I gain a better understanding of issues that our community finds pressing, but also I've learned a lot alongside the people who speak up. And then item 3.5, welcome to our new employees. We're happy to have you. And then item 16.5, congrats to our fall grads and certificate awardees. And item 16.2, please approve just all of our curriculum. That would be great. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we have our reports. And so the trustees have received your reports and read them. We are going to, I will go over just each one of the different, both student government as well as the academic senate and classified senate. If there's anything you'd like to highlight from the reports, you can do so. And if not, it's okay. You don't have to necessarily highlight. We have read the reports, but you have that opportunity. So College Associated Student Government reports, anything Ventura College wanted to add? If she's still here, she might not be here any longer. Okay, Oxnard College, anything you needed to add? Oh, she is. Okay. We can hear you, Ventura College.
Okay, thank you so much. It's not included in the report, but I did just want to give a big congratulations to our very own School of Nursing for being ranked #1 in the nation for the NCLEX RN first-time pass rates. This is just such a great accomplishment. I want to truly commend our students and faculty for this positive impact. Thank you.
Thank you, Ventura College. Oxnard College?
Good evening, Board of Trustees, Student Trustee Ayash, Chancellor McLennan, and guests. For my report, I wanted to highlight Trans Remembrance Day, which was on November 20th. And we just wanted to reiterate, OCHG stands with our transgender students. Today and every day, we honor the lives lost and remain committed to advocating for safety, equity, and inclusion on our campus. The second thing I wanted to highlight as well was today we had a thrift shop and hot meal event at Oxnard College. Students are on break, and we were honored to see all 50+ students that contributed and came to support the event, which was amazing. The third thing we would like to highlight is our Oxnard College Vice President of Student Services has moved on to another college, and we would just like to honor Dr. Oscar Cobian as OCHG. We admired all the work he did with us and for our campus. There's going to be no VP like him. We're just glad that he's able to sprinkle the greatness of him to other students as well. He's definitely has changed the trajectory of how us as OCHG we think, and we're glad that we were able to spend time with him and him be present with us when he was at our campus. Thank you.
Thank you. Moore Park College.
Okay. Yeah, I just have one thing that was brought to my inbox this morning. So Moore Park College's Black Student Union, or better known as a BSU too, deserves recognition for the second time. BSU has generously purchased over 50 gifts for our children in the Child Development Center at Moore Park. And I quote, "This gesture has filled our hearts with joy." So I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention. Thank you, Kristen, for sending that to my email.
Thank you. 6.2, AFT. Is there any reports? No reports from AFT. 6.3, SEIU. No reports. 6.4, Classified Senate Precedence Reports. Anything you wanted to add, Ventura College? No. Okay. Moore Park College. Thank you. Oxnard College. Okay. And our District Administrative Center.
No, thank you.
I thought I heard her speak now. Okay.
Oh, I said no, thank you.
Oh, no, thank you. Okay. Thank you. Okay, and we move on to our college president reports. I'm sorry, I skipped our academic senate presidents. Moore Park, anything else you wanted to add or highlight?
Just a couple of things. I want to say congratulations to the Moore Park College Classified Senate. We want to thank the MC Classified Senate for organizing a fantastic holiday luncheon that had delicious food and an opportunity to socialize with our colleagues. And we want to thank the Chancellor for his attendance and participation. And congratulations to the Classified Senate for a successful fundraiser that benefits student scholarships. And then I also wanted just to say one more thing, which is the use of artificial intelligence by students in our courses is threatening academic integrity. And we are happy to be participating in the district-wide creation of a BP and AP to help start the conversation of tools that can help our courses, certificates, and degrees and general reputation continue to have academic excellence. Thank you.
Thank you. Oxnard College.
Thank you. Really, in November, we were busy doing faculty resource request rankings, so happy to have that on the books. I just want to also acknowledge the retirement of Marta Munoz. It says she's retiring from Ventura College, but she spent most of her time in the district at Oxnard College as the counselor coordinator for the CalWorks program, and she will be deeply missed. I'd also like to express appreciation of Dr. Oscar Cobian. In spring of 24, the Academic Senate passed a resolution in appreciation. So I'll just read the last resolved. Resolved that the Oxnard College Academic Senate recognizes Dr. Cobian for his commitment to the campus and community as it bolsters his legacy of servant leadership at Oxnard College. And then I'd also just like to give a few farewell shout outs to retiring longtime district employees, Miss Carla Banks, executive assistant or executive administrative assistant to the presidents, to 9 presidents of the Oxnard College campus. And also Consuelo Connie Campos, who was the administrative assistant for the Liberal Studies Division in her last role. Thank you. Happy holidays, everyone.
Thank you. Ventura College.
So the Academic Senate wants to send a huge congratulations to our nursing program for ranking #1 in the National Council Licensure Examination, which surpassed 126 other ADN nursing programs in California and 1,320 comparable programs across the United States. So that's a big accomplishment. I wanted to highlight a couple of quick points about our curriculum process. We had 266 courses approved by the curriculum committee. We had 203 courses approved at the chancellor's office. We had 1 course on the Board of Trustees agenda this semester. We had 62 courses brought forward to DCCI. We have 133 remaining courses, and in total, we have had 400 courses that were reviewed this academic year. So they are very busy. Last month was an outstanding turnout for Transgender Day of Remembrance and the Native American Heritage Month celebrations at our campus. And we just want to take a moment to recognize how these events help us to honor lives, histories, and contributions to communities that are overlooked. We want to congratulate Ara, I'm going to pronounce the last name wrong, Kahian, which was our professor of economics, for his service to students. And one of our students, our student, ASBC student, was very sad when she heard that her professor was retiring. So they affected our students in a very positive way. And then lastly, as we close out 2025, I want to send a thank you to our faculty for all the amazing and hard work that they have done over the past year. Despite having to navigate some of the rocky waters we've been sailing upon, faculty have diligently provided quality and meaningful education, and we hope for more stable waters ahead as we sail into 2026. So Happy New Year, happy holidays.
Thank you, Rachel. President's report. Oxnard College.
Chancellor McLennan, Chair Torres, trustees, student trustee. I want to echo the sentiments that my colleagues have expressed regarding Oscar Cobian for his 10 years of service to the college. And really, as I mentioned during our holiday celebration, just his professionalism and helping me transition and really providing that feedback for me as I came in. And so he was just super professional and great during that time. I also want to acknowledge Carla Banks, an institution unto herself, 27 years of service. Number 9, I'm president number 9, and we had a running joke that, hey, what president am I that you've worked with? Number 9, and that was a good kind of grounding force that these jobs are not forever, and there are transitions, and so she just carries with her just a wealth of knowledge and history, and I'm going to miss our conversations. I really am. And other than that, I don't have anything else to add. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Ventura College.
Thank you. Good evening, Board of Trustees, Student Trustee Ayash, Chancellor McKinnon, and guests. In addition to my board report, a couple of items. First, yes, Marta Munoz we get to borrow her and benefit from all of her skills, strengths, and experiences and expertise before she retired. And much thanks and appreciation to her and all that she's done for our students in the CalWorks program. So thank you, Marta. Ventura College recently submitted its application for the Aspen Prize. I want to just thank and extend my appreciation to all employees who played an important role in the submission of this application. It doesn't take an application to know what Ventura College is doing, which is outstanding, extraordinary work. To innovative, cutting-edge curriculum development, teaching, and pedagogical practices led by our faculty, from continued expansion of our basic needs center to zero textbook cost courses, lending libraries, and overall academic support for our students, to the development of a new student housing solution with exciting capital improvements happening across the college, to ongoing growth and expansion with our East Campus and more effectively serving the Santa Clara River Valley, to building stronger partnerships and relationships, all aligned with institutional advancement in transfer pathways and high demand work sectors. You see, I could go on and on and on. We are doing some really cool work at Ventura College. This is really just the tip of the iceberg of what we're doing, and I really look forward to sharing with all of you more about the kinds of innovations that are positioning us for the future. I'd just like to say that Ventura College has clearly demonstrated resilience and momentum this past year for our students. And I want to just sincerely thank all of you, appreciation to all of our faculty, classified professionals, classified management, student leaders, administrators, all of you for supporting students through these critical milestones and accomplishments. Your commitment and collaboration has made these student successes possible. I'm wishing you all warm and happy holidays and a happy new year. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Moore Park College.
Good evening, trustees, Chancellor McLennan, student trustee, and our guests. First of all, I want to say a very big congratulations to our 4 grads, all 3 colleges. The success of our students is the outcome of the work that our faculty, our staff, administrators do in partnership with the collaboration from our industry and labor sector partners. I also want to use this a moment to congratulate our nurses who graduated and had an incredible nursing painting ceremony last Thursday. Thank you, Trustee Pachowski, for attending that and representing the Board of Trustees at that event. It is one of the best things we do on campus because we get to celebrate not only our nurses, but we get to celebrate their families and their commitment to health and well-being. Kudos to our FMNO team, particularly our Director of Facilities Management and Maintenance and Operations, Johnson Echo. The facilities report that you have here is a product of his work as well as a product of collaborations with our VP of Business, Dr. Jennifer Clark, and myself. When you look through this, you see the gravity of work, the gravity of work that is being done by our college in making sure that we provide facilities that are safe, facilities that are current, and do it with a limited and restricted budget. I also want to say a very big thank you to Ventura County Credit Union that's donated recently $75,000 to Moore Park College as one of its recipients of its 75th anniversary giving program. They've also donated 88 bags of necessities, materials, basic needs to our Basic Needs Center. And again, a hungry student or a student without a home cannot be a successful student. So we appreciate their support of our students in that work. We have a commitment from Cal State University Channel Islands to work on dropping the objection to applied cybersecurity baccalaureate degree, and in partnership with them, are working on supporting their pathways to a cybersecurity management degree that they have in development. Kudos to Moffat College's Aspen Prize writing team. We used a team of individuals from our campus to put that application together, and I want to thank them for the extensive hours they put in putting the application together to speak to why Moffat College is deserving of this honor. From our foundation, recent gifts, $300,000 from a donor to create a pathway from Moffat College to California Lutheran University through scholarships, $120,000 from Ventura County Community Foundation for supporting our zoo programs. And our scholarship portal just opened, and currently we have over 300 students who have applied for scholarships to date. We have a record number of new scholarships, so I hope that the folks will apply for those scholarships and make their way to Moffat College. Tomorrow, the college will be honoring, actually the college's foundation will be honoring those donors who have made the work that we do possible through their sponsorships and their donations. We will be having a donor appreciation event at 5 p.m. For those particular donors at our zoo, and it's a celebration through our Wild Lights exhibit at the zoo. So we look forward to saying thank you to our donors in that venue. That's all I have. Thank you so much.
Thank you. District office reports, business services, anything to report?
Nothing significant for us. We're just continuing with the day-to-day operations and going through the reporting processes for the end of year and beginning of Q1.
Thank you.
Chair Torres,
Trustee Tooth.
this very modest young man failed to mention that business services was instrumental in finally getting the solar panels energized at Ventura College. Well done.
Yay. Great job. Thank you, Trustee Mantu. Information technology, anything you want to highlight, Dan? No? Okay. Human resources, anything to highlight? Institutional effectiveness?
From me later.
Okay, thank you. Okay, board committee reports. Trustee Chancellor?
But before we move on, I just had a
Okay.
comment on the president reports.
Come
I know every month we kind of someone selects a theme that you guys sort of report on, and this month a lot of it was facilities, maintenance, and such. So I just want to stress how important that is for the community at large to know what's been completed, what is currently happening, and fixing things and building things and better serving our community, but also what the work that still needs to be done. So I found those reports really helpful because that's probably when I run into people out and about, it's usually not, hey, tell me about this class. It's tell me about the uncomfortable bleachers at the zoo that you made a commitment to, enhance and improve. So it's these types of things that are really important for us to be aware of. And I just want to say thank you so much. They were clear, concise, and really helpful.
Thank you, Trustee Chancellor. So board committee reports, 6.8.1 Administrative Services Committee, Trustee Mantu and Trustee Chancellor. For Administrative Services Committee, I'm sorry, Trustee Lichto and Trustee Chancellor. I'm not sure who's going to be reporting.
I thought it was a great meeting. We covered everything. I don't recall that we had any quote unquote split votes on any issues. Is that correct?
I think that's accurate. Always appreciate staff coming in and reporting to us. There was one item at the end of the agenda related to the 50% law that had been requested. Additional information. The district did provide a lengthy document. I think it's 106 pages, which gives us really all the information we'd ever want on the 50% law and how that impacts us today, the basis for the legislation, and understanding hopefully that that law was passed in 1961 and remains in place today, and it does create the foundation for our funding and how we fund schools and our colleges. And so I would hope that in the future, after the board has had the opportunity maybe to, or at least the past committee, to digest, or the ASC committee rather, to digest that information, we can bring that back either at a study session or at a regular board meeting to have a broad discussion about the 50% law, because it is relevant and it is important that at least we be aware of how it impacts our district.
Thank you, Trustee Lichtel. We do have a public comment for agenda item 6.8.2, and we have Erin Marquez Lally.
Hello again. Good evening. My name is Erin Marquez Lally, and I teach health and kinesiology at Oxnard College and have since 2017. Thank you, Trustee Chair Gabriela Torres, for seeing that the person behind the past committee curtain was merely posing as an all-powerful wizard, and Trustee Pachowski didn't actually know what he was talking about with his transphobic rhetoric that falsely stood in place of a supportive Title IX resolution. I was thrilled to see that not only it wasn't officially on tonight's agenda, but of course that it also wasn't an action item. And thank you, Trustee Mantooth, for asking your reasonable questions that led to your reasonable decision not to vote to move the resolution forward to tonight's meeting. It's a shame your committee counterpart didn't know the answers to your questions. But regardless, I do apologize for stepping in to do his job a second and third time. I'll try harder in the future to not let it happen again. I thought your comment was cute, Trustee Pachowski. Just several comments were submitted online prior to the past committee meeting. So modest. I think you meant to say 39 pages of comments were submitted, and those pages included 65 submissions that were adamantly opposed to your transphobic resolution. 10 of those comments asked to be read aloud, and yet none were. There were some juicy ones too. I highly recommend that all of you head to the district site and check out that PDF for your viewing pleasure. There was just one submitted that was on Team Bigot. I learned a few things by attending my first past meeting. Apparently, you don't need to know much to write and present a resolution. When a committee member asked Pachowski if transgender athletes were allowed to compete in California community colleges, he was silent. I piped up from the audience and answered on his behalf and said, yes, they are. You see, the California Community College Athletic Association, or the 3C2A, is the governing body for California Community College athletics. And though we do follow the National Collegiate Athletic Association, or NCAA, guidelines for the actual sports rules, 3 strikes and you're out, so to speak, eligibility and so on is our own prerogative. So regardless of if the NCAA or the California Interscholastic Federation, the CIF, which is California's high school governing body for athletics, had something else to say about who's able to participate in their level of sports, had anything to say about who's able to participate, the 3C2A is who decides who plays for our student athletes. Next time, maybe do your research, ask for help, get some tutoring like our students, even go to a professor's office hour or two before submitting something so sloppy and senseless. Thank you.
Thank you, Erin. And with this, we move to the reporting of the past committee that is chaired by Trustee Pachowski and Trustee Mantooth. Trustee Pachowski?
Yes, I chaired the meeting this month. And the first item that we undertook was the consideration of this resolution in support of Title IX. The fact of the matter is that the 3C2A and every 3C2A institution has had a Title IX complaint filed against them. That includes our 3 community colleges. And so taking that into consideration is quite important when it comes to this issue. On top of that, at the past committee, we heard from 2 young ladies that go to Santa Rosa Junior College. And they were women's volleyball players until this fall. And quite frankly, their testimony was quite compelling in my opinion. They talked about having to compete against the male athlete on their own team and how they lost their both, not only their starting positions, but they lost their place on their team when they spoke up about being concerned about it. And they also mentioned the fact that one of their teammates had been concussed last year by this individual. Now, the result of that discussion was that Trustee Mantooth and I split 1-1 on that vote as to whether or not we wanted to move that forward. And so based on that, I'm going to ask this board to consider putting it on a future agenda. The other item that we took up, yes.
Okay. Is this Alex Kelly? Or is there another one? Is there one online? Okay. Alex Kelly? No.
I
Okay.
think we heard from Alex Kelly earlier anyway. Yeah. The other item we had on our agenda for this month was a wonderful report from Institutional Effectiveness regarding dual enrollment. And it was such a great report that we're actually going to, I'm sorry, workforce development, my mistake. It's been a long night already. And we're going to be hearing that, at least portions of that later. So I'll defer to that later. And that's the report from the past committee.
Thank you, Trustee Pachowski. Okay, trustees, with this, we move to 7.0 approval of the consent calendar. And we have Trustee Pachowski who pulled items 11.1. The district pulled 8.2 earlier.
Actually, Chair Torres, looking at the agenda, the PO list was in fact revised. And so the item that Trustee Chancellor referenced earlier is not included in 8.2. So we can go ahead and move 8.2 as part of the consent calendar.
Okay, thank you. Any other items to be pulled by any other trustee? Okay, so is there a motion to pass the consent calendar with the exception of 8.2 and 11.1?
No, just 11.1.
Oh, just 11.1,
Yeah, I'll
11.1.
make the motion to approve the entire consent calendar with the exception of 11.1.
Motion made by Trustee Mantooth.
Second.
Is there a second? Thank you, Trustee Pachowski. Okay, so we have a motion by Trustee Mantooth to move forward with the approval of the consent calendar with the exception of 11.1, seconded by Trustee Pachowski. Student trustee, how do you vote?
Aye.
Trustees, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you. 11.1, Trustee Pachowski.
Yes, Chair Torres, I move that we approve 11.1 with the exception of Chelsea Russell, simply for the matter of fact that I serve on another board with Ms. Russell, and therefore I feel the need to recuse myself on her approval. I move the approval with the exception of Ms. Russell.
Chancellor, you had a comment?
Can a motion be made by somebody recusing? I don't know how that works.
Council,
I left that out. We can pass that through and then we can take up that one item. Yeah.
okay. So we have a motion made by Trustee Pachowski to approve item 11.1 with the exception of Chelsea. Is there a second? Okay. Trustee Chancellor. Trustee Mantu.
So my understanding is the motion fails for lack of a second, and in the in lieu of that, in light of that, I would invite Trustee Pachowski to recuse himself at this time so that we may consider approval of the full slate of candidates, and I would make that motion.
Looks like trustee. Okay. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so there was no second. So the motion failed.
Okay, let me try it then.
Okay, so we had a motion on the table by Trustee Pachowski where he wanted to approve.
Trustee Torres, I make a motion that we approve the appointment of Chelsea, sorry, give me the last name again,
Russell.
Russell, individually, allowing Trustee Pachowski to recuse himself.
Okay, so we have a motion made by Trustee Pachowski, seconded by Trustee Lichto.
That's not accurate. Trustee Pachowski's motion did not pass, did not get a second, therefore it failed due to a lack of a second. I'm making a new motion that we approve Chelsea Russell. I apologize. My wife's maiden name. I should never forget that again. That we approve her appointment as provided in the item, allowing Trustee Pachowski to recuse himself before we consider the rest of the item.
Okay, is there a second? Okay, so we have a motion made by Trustee Lichto, seconded by Trustee Mantu. Student trustee, how do you vote?
I'll abstain my vote.
Okay. Trustees, all in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Okay. Chancellor? Absolutely.
So I was going to mention this later in my report, but since we're all talking about Chelsea right now, I'd like to introduce you to our new Executive Director of Operations for the district. As the board knows, Lisa Putnam is still here. She's on Zoom and she's going to be working with Chelsea over the next bit of time to help her get up to speed.
Welcome, Chelsea. It's great to have you here at the district. Okay, and so we have 11.1. Is there a
We have to approve the other ones then.
Yes.
Okay. So moved.
Okay, so moved by Trustee Pachowski. Is there a second? Seconded by Trustee Chancellor. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
No, the rest of 11.
11.1. Okay. Motion passes. And with this, we are moving forward with items for policies. So we have board policy 12.1. Bless you. Chancellor.
You have the description in the board packet. This item went through the governance, participatory governance process. So you see the listing there of those actions, also planning, accreditation, students success, pass committee. And that did receive unanimous recommendations from the two trustees involved there. So I'd happy to answer any questions about that or defer it to Dr. Herrera.
Trustee Mantooth.
As Chancellor mentioned, this was unanimously approved at our recent past committee meeting and largely based upon just a reorganization of the format, how the language is formatted. And I would move forward a motion for approval at this time.
Second.
Okay. Motion made by Trustee Mantooth, seconded by Trustee Pachowski. Student trustee, how do you vote? Trustees, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you. We move to 13.1. This is teacher leave reimbursement for substitute for Trustee Josh Chancellor.
Chair. in the title, it says for, I believe, 12/11.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't need a substitute. I didn't attend the event due to conflict. So, I guess we can pull that or we don't need to vote on that.
So pull 13.1. Okay. So we're pulling item 13.1. There's no need for a vote. And with this, we move on to item 14.01. Chancellor?
Again, you have this information in your board packet. This is the actuarial study of retire health liabilities. You have the report included in the packet. This went through the ASC committee and received unanimous approval as well.
Okay. Trustees?
Second.
Okay, motion made by trustee Chancellor, seconded by trustee Mantooth. Any discussion? Okay. Student trustee, how do you vote? Trustees, all in favor, say aye. Okay, any opposed? Okay, thank you. Motion passes. 14.2. Chancellor?
Again, you have this, the information in the board packet. This is action to approve resolution 2025.12, delegation of signature authority to apply for California Department of Social Services General Child Care and Development Program funding fiscal year 2026 and 27. And we have folks here who can speak to that item if the board has questions.
Motion made by trustee Mantooth to approve item 14.2. Is there a second? Seconded by trustee Chancellor. Any discussion? Okay. Thank you, trustee Chancellor. Student trustee, how do you vote?
Aye.
Trustees, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Motion passes. 14.3.
Again, this is fairly robust description in the board packet. This is for approval of Ventura College Music Department international travel for students and faculty to London, to the United Kingdom. And we know people are going to be stowing away in suitcases if the board approves this.
Trustees, 14.3. Is there a motion? Trustee, thank you, trustee Chancellor.
Second.
Seconded by trustee Pachowski. Discussion? Trustee Chancellor.
I'll be supporting this, but it wouldn't feel right to do that without thanking I hope I get this right, the Miriam Schwab donation that was made. God, is Ann Paul King still here? Yeah, I believe 6 years ago, 5 years, I can't remember the exact, but it was a massive contribution or donation 7 years ago, $8 or $9 million. I can't remember, but 15 million. Yeah, and the majority going to the music program and aquatics. So I believe that this was the reason why this was able to be funded, part of it, the donation. Yes, okay. So I thought it'd be appropriate to thank the Miriam Schwab donation and the foundation and the work to make it happen.
Thank you, trustee Chancellor. Student trustee, how do you vote?
Aye.
Trustees, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Motion passes. 15.1, renewal extension of management contracts. Chancellor?
So you have this item before you. These are contracts that would expire in June of 2026. They're being brought to the board. Only those contracts who will receive other contracts. I think I mentioned at the ASC meeting in February, most likely in February for the remainder of the administrative contracts. So this is a small batch.
Trustee Little?
Yeah, I just have a question related to the instrument that's used for the performance evaluation and wondering if we could, as board members, receive a blank copy of that evaluation. I think it would be interesting for board members to be able to review that.
We'll make sure you get that.
any further comments or or student trustee, you wanted to say something?
No.
Didn't have a motion yet. Is there a motion?
Make a motion
Okay. What is your motion?
to approve, thank you, good catch, to approve 15.1.
Okay, so we have a motion to approve 15.1 by trustee Chancellor, seconded by trustee Lichto. Student trustee, how do you vote?
Aye.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Motion passes. 16.1, institutional effectiveness. And there's the report that was presented to the past committee, which is the building a career and economic workforce development ecosystem. Chancellor?
To the House Committee, as mentioned earlier, and Dr. Herrera is going to take you through an abbreviated version of that. But I do commend the board and all interested, everybody here and watching online to review this report. It's really a good source of information about the incredible work that's being done throughout the district, all three colleges, collaboratively, collegially, and in service to our community. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Herrera.
Thank you. Given that it's 9:30, let's see how fast we can get through this. But I think it's important that we showcase all of the work that has been done. What you have is this 36-page attached document. And the document aligns with our goal number 1, equitable access and achievement. CCVC will increase student access to educational opportunities and improve student achievement, bolstering the civic, social, and economic vitality of our communities. That's a mouthful. And when we're looking at I don't know that it works. There we go. Okay. So when we're looking at aligning our ecosystem, we have state, regional, and local partners, goals, and priorities. From the state, we have the Vision 2030. We have the California Master Plan for Career Education. Regionally, we have Uplift Central Coast. We have our South Central Coast Regional Consortium, which is comprised of 8 community colleges. We have the Center of Excellence, and then we have the Economic Development Collaborative. We also have Workforce Development Board, Ventura County Economic Vitality, and of course, most importantly, our strategic plan through 2035. We also have each of the colleges working towards the College Excellence Program and Aspen Institute, which really offers a lot of input as to how we should be partnering with our workforce partners. This is how our brains look when we're talking about the stakeholders that we have in our system. We have to find out a method for leading with clarity in a complex system. How do we move through clarity when we are overwhelmed with multiple layers of partners? Our intent is to expand existing and new career pathways. We want to leverage in a unified approach for job training and placement. We are looking at layering and integrating internships and apprenticeships, and also expanding our dual enrollment in our career education and STEM pathways. In order to really do that in a unified way, we went and developed an ecosystem as a career and economic workforce development ecosystem. Our ecosystem was created to accelerate existing programs, bolster emerging programs, enhance outcomes and impact, and unlock new possibilities. So we have what you see in front of you, components. We have the education and training partners. We have our social and wraparound support providers. We have funders, employers, and then we have various forces of change and policy influencers. And so when we looked at this system, as we took it from a pretty chaotic approach to a more organized approach, we realized that this approach would help us promote regional growth and the creation of high quality, high demand, and high wage jobs. So we're going to quickly go through the components. The first component is our education and training partners. We developed a district-wide career and education economic development seed work group. And that work group, we have each of the colleges participate, and we invite people to that meeting as stakeholders. We have the Ventura County Adult Education Consortium, and then we have other contract education that we implement in partnership with Economic Development Collaborative, who has Employment Training Panel, ETP funds, and the Workforce Development Board, which has WIOA and other RERP funds. Examples of a social and wraparound support providers, we've worked really hard with our nonprofits to provide wraparound services. We've partnered with Goodwill Industries, who primarily serve justice-involved and hard-to-place adults. And we've done multiple levels of opportunities with summits and workforce development programs and trainings. And with our Workforce Development Board, given that I'm on the board, I get to actively be involved with aligning what it is that we're doing with what the Workforce Development Board is and uniting. We have an ecosystem of our funders. One of the things that we recognize as we're trying to develop a strong partnership is that if we can unify resources and braid our resources, we can have better synergistic results. We have the California Strong Workforce and Federal Perkins Title V funding, Regional Equity and Recovery, RERP, that's with the Workforce Development Board, and the Uplift Central Coast, which is collaboration with Economic Vitality, Ventura County, and the Economic Development Collaborative. The employer component is one of the most important components that we've been able to move and progress through a workforce talent development model. We invite the businesses into our organization with all three colleges in the room, and we listen to what their needs are. We share our programs and our pathways that we have available. We have conversation around gaps, and we're able to move forward either by providing existing or looking at developing new support training to assist. One of the key examples is what we've done with the U.S. Navy, and Chancellor, you've been very involved with that. What we are doing is we've got all three commands, NAV Air, NAV Sea, and NAV FAC, together in a room with all three of our colleges. That's the first time that all three colleges have been in the same room with the commands, and it's the first time that all three commands have been together in a room because we're all siloed. And what we found that there's more similarities than there are differences. The three commands are looking at their resources and how they're jointly moving together, and our community colleges are looking at how we're moving together. And we've been able to make some great strides. And one of the things the Chancellor will tell you, we attend the Regional Defense Partnership meeting monthly at 7:30 in the morning at the County Government Center. And it's comprised of multiple individuals that work with the Navy as civilian or are part of the naval base. And they, before they get to us, they're constantly talking about the partnerships that each of the colleges are doing with them, and how happy they are with the activities that we are moving forward together with them. And it's nice to hear them tell our story rather than us having to tell our own story. Chancellor, do you have anything to add, Chancellor?
Early on in this development of this relationship, I would give a report. What's happened over the last couple of years, and certainly in this last year, is I really don't have to give a report anymore. To Dr. Herrera's point, the command reports are giving our report for us based on their involvement with us, and it's pretty significant.
Then we go to our influencers. We recognize that we're going to be having demographic changes. We have technological advances. We have sustainability issues, and we have various other legislative policymakers, labor and trade that we're working with that are influencing how we're moving forward. One of the things with the climate sustainability, we're partnering. Assemblymember Bennett and Senator Limon started a working team of individuals across the county to talk about creating the offshore wind projects and initiatives. And what came of that was a challenge placed on our table to develop an ecosystem around the teal economy. It was actually the blue economy and the green economy. We combined it to make it a teal economy because we recognize that there are several initiatives and similarities in those two areas that we could work on and move forward. So one of the benefits to that is as we're moving in that direction, it opens the door for additional funding for our community colleges to develop curriculum and additional partnerships. The other things that have come as a result of our partnerships, which you'll see on the next page, we have, and I don't know if you've heard of the 805 Autonomous Innovation Center, and it's for unmanned autonomous vehicles, both air, land, and sea. This is a partnership with the Ventura County Economic Vitality Economic Development Collaborative, FathomWorks, us, and other businesses, venture capitalists coming together and creating at the Camarillo Airport a test space of 300 square miles where individuals who are entrepreneurs who are developing products can come in, test their products, develop a business plan, and talk to venture capitalists. And what it does for us is it exposes our students to that environment, and we're creating curriculum around electrical vehicles, electrification at Ventura College. We have logistics at Oxnard College, and at Moore Park, we have biotech manufacturing. And we're taking the essence of those and integrating it into what we're learning for the Autonomous Innovation Center and creating stackable credentials, pathway programs, internships, and additional business connections for our students.
Trustee Chancellor.
I had a quick question from 2 slides previous. On the legislators and policymakers next month, January, I don't know which trustees, I know I'm one of them. We're going to Sacramento for the legislative part of the conference of the CCLC, and we'll be visiting, hopefully, with our local elected at the state. I would like to get some more information about those relationships and some of the future investments and things so we could continue advocating and echo and not be left unaware. So I'll work with the chancellor on getting some of that information, but I think it would be great to support the relationships you've continued to foster and grow. Thank you.
And then we are entering into a 8-month workforce assessment, business and workforce assessment around the 126 corridor, which includes Santa Paula, Fillmore, and Piru. One of the things that we've done so that all of the individuals that we are working with have clarity of the vision of what we're trying to do, we've put together this logic model. And we utilize this logic model as a tool when we're talking to the stakeholders in the corridor. And what this does is it offers the strategic approach that we're taking to looking at business and workforce in that corridor. So we've identified, we're going to be identifying workforce development needs, new and potential businesses, the resources and partnerships that we can have. Specifically, we're collecting quantitative and qualitative data on the workforce skills gap, hiring challenges, business interest in dual enrollment and work-based learning collaborations, partnership readiness, new potential businesses, and barriers to participation for underrepresented learners. And we're developing pilot micro pathways anticipated. One of the things that we've identified is by doing this and having a strategic approach, people feel more comfortable. We're talking to the economic workforce development offices, because one of the things that we realize is that we have to align with where the cities are going in the future so that we can be prepared for their workforce. And so we're meeting with chambers, businesses. We're going to be doing a survey with 1,500 businesses in the corridor. And we are already garnered valuable information. We'll be talking to nonprofits, advocacy groups, in addition to businesses. So that'll be an 8-month process. We hope to get a shared understanding of what we can do in that corridor and build upon that. We are also partnering with marketing. Marketing is one of the tools that can be used to really highlight information in the community colleges of what's being done and how it's being done. We've created a LinkedIn campaign to increase visibility. We are in the process of creating short videos to tell stories and creating collateral across our district. And we have a QR code to share so people can follow us on LinkedIn and can join us economic workforce development. We have what we hope to do with next steps is strategic planning efforts in building and supporting collaborative district-wide strategic planning, strengthening and integrating what we're already doing and building upon those resources, expanding our funding opportunities. We are partnering on another Catalyst grant that we hope to get $2.5 million. We'll see. And that Catalyst grant is in partnership with the Economic Development Collaborative and the Ventura County Economic Vitality and our business partners. We also have just recently applied for the Regional Strong Workforce Program, a little over $18 million. Thank you to Josefa Baca and the team from the colleges for putting that together. And so we're hoping by having this ecosystem approach to our workforce development that we can strategically expand to serve our students in our community. What that also does is it builds relationship with our community partners, and it expands access to businesses that students may or may not have access to, and it increases active participation, and it strengthens our long-term collaborations and sustainability. We're looking at opportunities as we move across the ecosystem for building sustainability into the plan, the system. So that in a nutshell, I know I went through it really fast. I think I did a better job at the past committee, but I took a little bit more time. Do you have any questions?
Trustees, any questions or comments? Trustee Lichtel?
So many questions, but I think we'll have to digest this. Maybe we'll send them off to you, but the work that's happening is commendable. So we thank you for, at least I thank you for the work that you're leading. I was particularly impressed with the 126 project, which I think responds to the Santa Clara River Valley and the efforts that we're putting in there, as well as, quite frankly, the entire report, the situation with the airport and the autonomous vehicles, which I'd actually heard about at the Taxpayers Association meeting a few months ago, during which time yourself and Dr. McLennan received quite a bit of kudos and thanks for your involvement with the Airport Commission in making that happen. So one thing I've seen in 3 years is that I think our reach as a community college district has increased tremendously through these kinds of committees and this kind of work. So I wish there was more time. I wish I would have been at the past committee meeting to have a lengthy discussion about this item. I'm sure people do not want to sit and listen to a whole bunch of questions. So I'll send those your way. But I commend you for the work and thank you on behalf of the students of our district.
I would like to acknowledge Brenda Acom Forbes, who was the director of is the director of economic workforce development. Jennifer Lozano, who is our research analyst, who really took a lot of time in putting this together, and all of the players and stakeholders at the colleges. They've done a lot of work also. I just want to make sure we acknowledge them.
Thank you, Dr. Herrera.
Chair Torres.
Trustee Paczewski.
Just for the board members who were not on the past committee at the last meeting, there is a recording of the meeting. So if you want to go back to that recording, you can certainly use the link to view that section of the meeting, and that may answer some of the questions you have.
Thank you, Trustee Paczewski. Chancellor McLennan.
John? I was going to go back to that last slide. You could just go back there. So it's just a small thing, but I think it's worth mentioning based on the earlier conversation we had about the board goal around, my board goal around activating our CCVC 2035 strategic planning work. In that little statement, the first bullet about support collaborative district-wide strategic planning is exactly that opportunity to link this work with CCVC 2035 at the campus level. All three presidents are committed to integrating that work. If you recall, that work started with the campuses. It was facilitated directly with the campuses. And this is one of those strategic objectives around an integrated approach to workforce development that it's kind of hidden in there, but that's what that means. It's actually taking that work that we've done and integrating that going forward. So I just wanted to make sure you noticed that. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor McLennan. Trustee Chancellor.
Very briefly, you know, we hear a lot about that bridge between the colleges and the district, you know, and I think this report, but more importantly, the work you do really demonstrates, as I think our chancellor just mentioned too, bringing those three plus the district entities together to do some really great work. And I just have to mention, you know, when I run into people, whether it's at the grocery store or wherever, and they're like, oh, what other side gig you have? I'm like, oh, I'm a trustee for the Ventura County Community College District. They kind of go, oh, you go, I know someone that works for that district. And it's almost always your name, you know, but seriously, because you're out and about, you're meeting with people authentically. And they're always like, it's a lady, it's Dr. I'm like, Herrera. They're like, yes, that's the one. So thank you for putting a face to this organization. And in many ways, I know there's a lot of people that do that, but you're out and about. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Herrera. We appreciate your very detailed report with your entire team, that there's so much work that goes into it. And so it's really provides us with a great opportunity to see the amazing work we're doing as a district as we move this work forward. So trustees, I just wanted to do a check-in. Are we okay to continue? Okay. Trustee Mantooth.
I would like to move that we approve items 16.2, 3, and 4 as one motion.
Okay, so motion made by Trustee Mantooth to approve 16.2, 16.3, 16.4, seconded by Trustee Lichtel. Any discussion? Trustee Paczewski? Okay, can you tell us where? Okay. You can do so now.
Sorry that couldn't be here. I think she may be testing. Somebody who many years ago actually was a sports official. I'm a little concerned about the fact that we proposed sports officiating without getting any input from the professional organizations that handle sports officiating in the area. There are several organizations, not the least of which are the California Football Officials Association and the California Basketball Officials Association, which I was a member of both at one time, like I say, many years ago. I'm just concerned that, we always talk about establishing partnerships, and that seems like it would have been the opportune time while developing a course like this to be reaching out to those organizations to produce the highest quality course possible. And I'm just concerned about the lack of integration, because this is where those organizations are where you get all of your local high school sports officials from. So if there's a football game in Ventura County, and every single one of those guys in zebra stripes is a member of the California Football Officials Association, specifically the Central Coast Football Officials Association. Same thing goes with basketball. Same thing goes with soccer, baseball, softball. They all have their independent officiating organizations, and it's from those organizations where individual members can eventually move on. And I've seen this happen. They move on to the higher levels. They go up to community colleges like at our games, as well as your Division III, your Division II, even your Division I schools. I actually worked with one gentleman who had risen through the ranks. He was actually one of my bosses at UCLA because he headed up the intramural program, where he was an NFL official. And so I'm just concerned that we're proposing a course without getting any input from the professionals, the people that do this on a regular basis. And hopefully there's somebody that can provide some input on that as to how this all kind of came about, because like I say, I just don't understand this.
Trustee Pachowski, was this different from the inquiry that we got? I think we provided some information.
There was
Did
some
that not
information, but
suffice,
it really didn't answer the question I was asking.
Okay, because we didn't get any additional feedback, but so the information I have is this course is intended to fill the knowledge gap identified by the CSU, kin chairs for incoming kin transfer students to better prepare them for their studies. It will also be a required component for a future certificate. So it's really not intended to replace what you're talking about, which is officiating and certification to be a referee or official for sports. This is more informational as an elective course for students seeking to study KINAF.
Well, I kind of gathered that a little bit from Dolores. Maybe then it's just a suggestion that maybe it's something that we might want to consider doing. I'm certainly not. I have no intention of opposing it. It's just,
thank you for that.
As a former member of those associations, it's important to recognize the fact that they're the professionals. They know what they're doing. I can tell you more than you care to know about basketball mechanics. I could probably even teach the course for basketball mechanics. But that's all I've got.
Thank you, Trustee Pachowski.
With that, I'll make the motion to approve.
Oh, we have a motion already. So we have a motion on the table made by Trustee Mantu, seconded by Trustee Lecto to approve 16.2, 16.3, 16.4. Student Trustee, how do you vote?
Aye.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion passes for all three. Thank you. Trustee Mantu.
It is with great pride and conviction that I would like to make a motion to approve items 16.5, 6, and 7 as a group.
Second. Lou's got it.
Okay.
Lou, you got it.
Lou? Okay, so we have on the table a motion to approve 16.5, 16.6, 16.7, seconded by Trustee Lecto. Student Trustee, how do you vote?
Aye.
Trustees, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Motion's pass. And we move to 17.1, Chancellor's Report.
Chair Torres, I'll keep this brief. I first of all want to thank again everybody who had anything to do with producing the incredibly informative, full reports that the board received this evening. And again, I commend to everybody who would be interested in anything happening in this district. If you really want to know what's going on a monthly basis, to read those reports, you're going to get the full picture. I mean, and even I say the full picture, there's a lot more, but it'll come next month. And so I know that those reports take a lot of time. They take a lot of staff involvement in putting them together. And the care that goes into them to make sure that the board and the public see the good work that's happening in this district is appreciated. So, so there's that. I also want to acknowledge, you know, I'd like to abbreviate our mission by saying we're in the business of creating hope and opportunity. And we do that in such a miraculous and wonderful way every day. And everybody in this room knows that, and they're a part of that. I particularly want to draw attention to the students we serve and the struggles they have. I often will say, you know, I challenge you to tap any one of our students on the shoulder and not hear a compelling story about what it took for them to get here, what it's taking for them to stay here, and how important we are to them achieving their goals. And I'll keep saying that over and over again because I want our community to understand that. To that point, when I hear the reports at the individual level, at the department level, across the district of people that are engaged in trying to feed our students, to make sure that they have the essentials to care for their existence in this world while they're doing the duty of advancing their knowledge in the programs and services and their engagement with our programs and services. I'm completely humbled by that work because we don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Many of you know I serve as a board member on the organization Food Share that's deeply committed to feeding. You know, nobody should go hungry in our community. And I just want to recognize the incredible efforts at the individual level. The board probably never going to hear about all the things that the staff, the faculty do at the institutions, at the district to care for our students. And with that, I'll conclude my report and wish everybody just a wonderful holiday season. And I look forward to seeing you all in the new year. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor McLennan. 18.1, student trustee report.
First, I will make mine also brief. I first want to say congratulations to the new employees. Thank you guys for joining the team. Glad to have you guys here. Also, congrats to Chair Torres and new Vice Chair, Chancellor. I'm wishing you guys all the best. I also want to say last congratulations to all 3 college campuses for the students of graduating in the fall. It's amazing, as a student myself, it's amazing to see students accomplish their goals and do it in these campuses. And it shows that, you know, these campuses are making a difference for the better, and I hope we keep it that way. I had the great privilege of attending the Oxnard student government meeting as well as the Moore Park College student government meeting. It was a great privilege to see the student body and to see the things that they're supporting, the things that they plan on doing moving forward. I plan on also attending more events and also meetings also in Ventura College too. I've been in talks with all presidents. I also want to wish good luck, best of luck to any students who are watching on live for finals. I know finals has been stressful for all of us, including myself. I'm glad to be finished. I know a few people are, but I know people who aren't. So wishing the best of luck on that. I also want to talk about how I also had the I had the opportunity to attend the CCLC annual trustee conference along with Chancellor McLennan. Well, I got the last name right. Okay, cool. It was an amazing opportunity. As the chair of the student trustees statewide, I really got to see many student trustees come up to me and talk to me about their concerns on their campuses. And it felt amazing to be in a position where I am a leader to other student trustees across the state. With that being said, I want to draw the attention to the resolutions that we are planning on coming up this year. We have met up. I met up with my vice chair, Matthew Cadell, and my secretary, Sophia Manavi. Without them, I would not be able to do as much as I can because they do help, and I want to give respect to them. We're just excited to bring attention to certain goals from a statewide level. As student trustees have their own ideas and knowledge, and we just want to make sure that I want to make sure as the leader that I'm able to share, spread awareness and share common goals that we all have. And I will plan on talking more about the resolution ideas when they do get passed in the next meeting. Thank you so much. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, student trustee. 18.2, individual trustee reports. Trustee Lichtel. Trustee Mantooth.
Report, but just a comment. We heard a lot of dialogue tonight, a lot of it very pointed and a lot of it very direct. And I would hope that as we move forward with the holiday season and that you all have a safe and relaxing time with friends and family, that it's also a time of reflection so that we all bear in mind that we are all works in progress. We don't always get it right. And we're all at the same time lifelong learners, and we will get better. And that we focus not only on tolerance and understanding, but above all, unity, because that's what's going to pay off for our students and our staff. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Mantooth. Trustee Pachowski.
First and foremost, I want to welcome Chelsea. For those of you that may not know, I know the chancellor knows, and she obviously does. Chelsea and I served together on the board for the Area Housing Authority for the County of Ventura. And so I've known Chelsea for about 2 years now, and I am confident that she's going to do a great job for the district. So welcome, Chelsea. Dr. Herrera, thank you again to you and your team for an excellent, excellent report. It was better, even better the second time. I had the honor and privilege last week to represent the board because I was the only board member there at each of the 3 graduations that were held. First, we had the Ventura College nursing pinning ceremony on Monday night. And I want to congratulate all the graduates there. And I want to congratulate the program for being named the top, one of the top nursing programs in the country. That's absolutely phenomenal. Then I got on which night was it? Wednesday. Nope, that's not right. Hold on. Thursday night. I got to go to Moore Park College, as Dr. Sokanu mentioned earlier, for their nursing pinning ceremony. And it was just kind of interesting to kind of contrast the difference in the two. One of the biggest differences was that at Moore Park College, they actually put the pins on the nurses, whereas at Ventura College, they had the pins on kind of a lanyard that they put on over your head. Just kind of interesting. Then finally, on Friday morning, there was the Oxnard College Regional Fire Academy graduation. And that was interesting in and of its own right, in the fact that they actually had this almost an hour-long video showing the training, the intense level of training that all of the new Fire Academy graduates go through. And there was one particular point in that video where it wasn't just me, it was the entire audience that was there, and the Performing Arts Center was packed. There was a collective gasp because one of the cadets was coming out of a window, and they were like climbing onto a ladder, but they were upside down, and you just kind of had to see it. But there was a collective grasp in the audience, and that was the part of the video that really stuck out for me. I'm really looking forward to the event over at Moore Park College tomorrow night. And in closing, I want to wish everyone that celebrates a happy Hanukkah, as well as a very Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Pachowski. Trustee Chancellor.
Very brief report. I mentioned it before, but I have 2 of my own children that attend community college, our 3 community colleges. And I now have a daughter, she just finished her Spanish 1 class at Ventura College, and it's really fun to now talk to her in our Spanish that we get to share. But it's so powerful to see the process through that lens, and to drive her, she's 14, to drive her to campus at night and see the campus lit up. It looks great. to know that the lights will be on in that building. She'll be safe when she's there, and she's getting a phenomenal education. So, and my son as well, who's attending Ventura College. So it just goes full circle, and it adds another layer into this position we have as trustees. So very exciting for that. And the only other thing I want to mention is I'm really looking forward to the end of January. I know we have a meeting before that, but to the CCLC conference and our legislative work up in Sacramento and also in DC. Along with for example, with the CCLC trip that we're going to take and the legislative work that we're going to do, I really would like to work with staff to get a list. It was in one of the reports out of Julia Brownlee's office that we received funding, and we were actually on the personnel appointments. We hired some people to fulfill that grant. And I think it's really important when we meet with our electeds that we can share not only with the support and help we need, but also say, hey, the dollars that you allocated or fought hard for us to receive, here's what we're doing with them. So I'd like to have a sheet of paper that we can not just say, we need help with this, but thank you for the funds that we've received to do this. So, and of course, happy holidays to everybody, and thanks for being here. And thank you, Chair Torres.
Thank you, Trustee Chancellor. And I think the trustees have really expressed it so well, just really as a board, how grateful and thankful we are of all of the work that everybody does. For me personally, it was great to be able to see students and to hear all the wonderful things, and they're the ones that moved my heart. And so if they're still watching, I just wanted to say thank you. It was a beautiful surprise to me. And just as I mentioned before, and to everybody who spoke, definitely their voice is something that touched my heart. And so I just wanted to say thank you, especially for me during these times. For me particularly, it was a wonderful time to be able to hear those comments. And we moved together as a board. And just like Trustee Mantu said, the unity as we come together and we continue to learn. As we come together, each one individually, to move forward our district with the vision. We have our strategic goals, and our strategic goals is really our North Star. And it's something we've committed, it's something we've worked as trustees. And I look forward with the entire board, all of us co-leading and doing this work. And so I wanted to also thank all of you tonight, colleagues, for your support as we move forward with our district. And to everyone, enjoy this wonderful time with your families. Truly, truly do enjoy it. And have a wonderful Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and thank you for everything that you do. And, thank you. And with this, we move on to 19.1, which is requests for future items. Trustees, any requests for future items?
Chair Torres.
Trustee
I'd like
Pachowski.
to see us consider the Title IX resolution.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, so Trustee Chancellor.
No, it's not on our agenda, so I'm not going to comment on the resolution, but just a point of clarification. Do you want to see the Title IX resolution that went to pass written as is, or is it going to be modified in any shape or form?
I'd be open to modifying.
Okay.
If you've got input, I'm open.
I was just
I mean, any resolution that comes before the board should be open to modification. But I'd be open to it.
Okay, so if there's no additional requests for future items, this meeting is adjourned at 10:09. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. Thank you for being here.